everybody. Welcome. Wow, are you okay then? To session 23 of
Yeah.
Blood.
I have no way of telling you
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah. Great. I did. Yeah, I got it right.
I was so ready
yeah.
to correct you.
Wait, but then you changed it. For one of the point
Did I?
fives, you must. Yeah.
Oh,
This is my calculation.
okay, 23 or
Alright.
24?
23 of
24.
Blood and Shackles. You said I was right.
I thought so.
Last time, the party found themselves at the beginning in a cave in the side of one of the valleys of the Manoways as hyenas, mutated hyena gnolls, attacked you and tried to hunt you down, but you managed to hold them off valiantly until the attack subsided, after which you ran into a contact, the very same person you'd actually been sent towards the Manoways, towards the Arkansas Duchy to find, a trader slash smuggler, it seems, potentially, by the name of Emmett Ironwood and his strange mechanical contraption, who was, out, just doing some of his own business in the area when he, had heard the cries of all the mutants and the gunshots of your party. And, he met up with him and he explained that he was indeed also someone who was working with Captain Wright back in the Shackles, and that, you had made it your destination. You have succeeded, as it were, in making the bridge over towards the Manoways. Very good, very good.
What was our contact's name again?
Emmett Ironwood.
Okay.
You have a little hand up?
He doesn't.
Yeah, you should have it in the end.
thing.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, maybe I forgot to make you owners.
NPCs.
One sec. Oh no, there you go.
There we go.
There he is.
You can see him and his little strange contraption.
Yep.
Yeah, it's his strange vehicle of sorts. And yeah, you thought, okay, we succeeded, but we might as well, go have a look at the gunworks before we start our long voyage back, see what this place is all about, see a little bit of Manoways. It would be a terrible sighting to otherwise. But as you were headed there, the night before you were due to arrive, Nate had a strange vision of sorts in his dreams, a vision of Hazzy, your old lizard folk friend, fellow, adventurer in a way, I guess. Not adventurer, but someone who was also involved in their business. What do you call them? Outcast, yeah, fellow outcast, perhaps. Weird dude, one of the few lizard folk who were against whatever was happening back in the Shackles and the Southern Lands. And he was basically, can't remember the exact words, but he seemed to think there was a reason for you to return quickly to the Shackles. That, something there needed your attention. After this, you had some discussion about how urgent this need was. Did it mean you could, just head back there by boat as normal, and just, set that as next destination? Or was it something that required more extraordinary measures to get back in time? It was a tough decision, and, many thoughts one way or the other. But as far as I can remember, maybe your party has also changed their mind in the hours that have passed. But the idea was at least you would head on to the city of Alkenstar, where perhaps you would better find a services of perhaps some capable spellcasters who would, at the very least, be able to contact back to Hazzy, or be able to find some way of teleportation magic to maybe get you back there sooner. I can't remember exactly. I think there was source about I think Nate kind of wanted to ask him first, but then I think there was some people thinking, okay, but maybe there was a point that should teleport him. Like if we need to talk, then it's probably bad enough that we should go, and it costs money anyway. So there was some discussions about what exactly should be the goal. But regardless, it was something that you thought wasn't enough for you to just head back by boat. You had to, at the very least, try to spend some effort figuring out what's going on. Of course, there was also some thoughts about do we actually have enough to afford this? And while true, it would probably be a very severe blow to your finances. And yeah, we will, begin. Sorry, what, Nate?
Such as they are.
Such as they are, yeah. Such as they are.
No, Altair is, I think, the one who's the most vocal on. We either make the decision now of go back to the boat and sail back, or we go to Alkenstar and we're teleporting, and there's no other choice.
Yeah, and I think Nate was more like the maybe go to Alkenstar and have a sending or message back to Hazzy, right, Nate?
Yep.
And then see if you get bit more information, and I think.
Quick's also
I
more
mean,
like,
our-
I'm a bird. So.
Yeah, and Johnny's like, I'm a surfer, dude. You guys are like, whatever. I'll just deal with it.
I mean, we'll need to probably sell half our belongings and
Yeah.
more
The
importantly,
teleport option
leave the
basically
ship
bankrupts
behind.
us.
Yeah, leaving the ship behind is also
Go back to
obviously a
zero.
blow. There was a discussion
I mean,
with
legitimately, it would be that close.
Yeah.
Like starting gold
I
amounts.
mean,
There
how
was a discussion.
much? We don't need much, do we, bros? Like, to be honest, I kind of just want to get back to the sea, you know? The actual good waters.
But sea, not an option. Well, not for
Yeah.
now, at least.
Because if we teleport, we don't have a boat.
I don't need a boat
Yeah.
to be in sea.
Who needs a boat? Teleporting to 500 miles just into the middle of the ocean, baby.
how can I
Jeez.
be a captain without a ship? It's not even my ship.
Maybe you're not a real captain if you
Can
need
we,
a ship.
can we teleport onto some ship and take it over?
Man, that's a precise teleportation
Like a
right there.
pirate.
Then convince Shelby it's the same ship. Not sure it will work.
If it is
Sure.
better, she won't mind. Right? If it is bigger.
It works.
The ship has a history, you know.
Women remember details, bro. Too much.
Like sea elephants, yes.
Okay, so yeah, you were having this conversation. You were currently still in like one of the bars at the gunworks. Visited by a lot of like the factory hands. Quite a like rough and tumble, wild westy. But yeah, it is about to be like the sun is starting to cool. This music's very different.
Ooh.
It's starting to very tropical. And it's more tropical island. None of this. How about everything I have in piracy, and you haven't been in pirate places for so long.
Well, that's why we're TPing Ace.
Yeah, you right. Yeah, you're kind of into it. It's about 5:30. So it's starting to get dark. So you probably would want to spend the night here either way. Oh, no, the seagulls. No.
We're the mana storms, man.
Quite good relaxing, but Stormy Sea Treasure Grove. No. Wilderness travel, whatever. At least he doesn't want to have water in the background. Yeah. So you find yourself in the inn, and yeah, I guess you're just having this conversation over a drink or two. Yeah, of course, in regards to the boat, it was also discussed. Emmett was saying, even if you decide to go to Alcazar and teleport back, they would arrange for the first shipment of a transit from the agreement to basically be done by the boat, and then I guess it would be left in the Port Peril and some manner.
Would it be Port Peril or would it be? Yeah, that's where we met with the captain.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then we just have to fucking walk our asses from Salt Reef to Port Peril to pick it up.
Exactly. Yeah,
And,
but
just to be sure, nobody's character has ever been in Alconstar, right?
No.
Because they're pretty far away. Okay.
yeah.
This is
Definitely.
so far away.
How many miles was it again? From two
Too
ways
many.
just over
It was basically like
This
150 miles too far for the level of teleportation, like the lowest level of teleportation.
No, lowest level was only 100 miles, and then it's
Okay.
level
Oh,
1,000.
Right.
We
Okay,
we could just travel southeast a little bit and combine the two blood named campaigns.
That's true.
higher than that.
Not-
there you go.
But that
Lord
yeah,
of Shackles.
we already talked about how Geb is like a no-go, right? That's like an
Lord of
extra.
Oh,
Yeah, unless you want to become undead, then it's a go-go.
No thanks.
Eternal life or unlife?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
this is
that
why
can
in the age
come, right?
batches they give you like a Elven portal, like gateway hub, where you can travel anywhere in the world. If you want to go somewhere,
cool,
yeah,
right?
you don't have 7
Exactly.
months of travel. You just click the button.
It's pretty nice if you want to have a slow spending campaign. It's true. But okay, yeah. So you are in this inn. Is there anything?
Where is shit?
Hmm?
The Age of Ashes, not Age of Ashes, the Ashes of Averon?
Age of Ashes? Wait, what?
No, the one that we last played where we all died.
Yeah, Age of
Yeah,
Ashes.
Ashes, yeah.
Was it okay? For some reason, I was getting them confused.
Age of Action, I mean spoilers, but you go fucking everywhere. Like I think you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Well,
go.
it's because you have that hub. Where does that start? Like on.
Oh,
I forget
you
where
guys
that
started. It started in Isga. It's like over
Yeah,
over there somewhere.
up here
It's
somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Somewhere
think
here, I think.
around here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And a new popover somewhere in the middle of
You just go and join that
unholy
campaign.
place.
We pick
Yeah.
up where our
And
dead
it's,
ass
I mean,
characters
spoilers at some point.
left
Also,
off.
like you go like the dwarven place at one point.
Yeah,
That
in
was like the
Chicago.
next one. Then
Ooh,
you go to
fucking
Vavinel. Yeah, the fucking mountain of Vavinel. I think there's one over here to the last one.
Where's
There's a lot of places you go.
Where was here?
No spoilers. All the way down.
Drown. Kirsten's character sells a chance. Just petrified in the woods.
Petrified. In 1,000 years, we'll be game back happy. Anyway, yeah. So you are, discussing the options. Maybe looking at the map you have, over, a table in this inn. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do in the evening, or you basically come to a conclusion to do, or at least get to Elfenstar and then see what the situation there looks like?
There's gonna push the group to we sleep tonight, and in the morning we have to make the decision: boat, or are we teleporting? Is what he's pushing for.
Okay.
Because if we're gonna go to the boat, there's no point in going to Alkenstar.
I think we kind of decided we need to teleport back because it'll take us months with a boat.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Nate is very not happy about making this choice, but
Well, that was my choice as well. Do we split the costs? Because I did already offer my treasures.
I believe you're the only one with anything worth anything.
I will say, although you know what the normal cost would be, Alkenstar is a little bit of an unusual place due to the way the magic stuff works. So maybe don't be too set on this. It will be the price because
Right.
it is obviously very high level magic. It's an uncommon spell. It's it is not something that would be just well known how much something like that would cost.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have what do I have? A tidal fish hook.
It's pretty cool.
1 for 1, yes.
And it's pretty valuable, Fish.
Yeah, and not much else. Oh, or the tactician's helm. That.
Yeah, and I have even less. I have 15 gold worth of trinkets and a black dragon scale.
Oh,
That's
I
about it.
have a dragon scale too, but no idea about the value of it.
Same. I actually have 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few.
Guess I was pretty greedy. Just decked out in shiny magic gear.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see.
it's more of you had capacity to carry stuff. No one else did.
The total wealth is maybe everybody else combined plus an extra couple hundred.
Couple hundred gold. Yeah. True. The beast gun, I think, does kind of.
The beast gun is
quite
yeah.
a bit.
It's also it's also. It does something else that's also very expensive. I think you had. I can't remember what it
I think
is.
the laser beam helmet.
No, it's
I've
bad.
seen helmet is
That's a few hundred, right?
25.
Yeah.
My
225.
health is
The amulet is 0.
710.
The jar of shifting sands is 320.
Yeah, that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the win out my back is 130, but I paid that in my own pocket.
It's almost it's fake, right? These things that are +1 striking aren't actually right. They have the blazers on,
One
and
of
that's
them
doing
is,
all the fights. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you spend also a bit of time, I guess, discussing if you, even though you don't know the total amount of obviously you assume it will be quite
Yeah, we basically
expensive, and you're
we're saying, well, if we get there and it ends up being more than this, we literally can't do it without selling the actual gear that we use to survive.
exactly, yeah.
Oh, by the way, sorry, Ian, about those striking things. Apparently, so the growth gun is already a +1 striking in and of itself.
Yes.
So that means I can always have
Your
the auto
other
pistol and
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Oh, we do have some things on the boat.
No, you left it on the boat.
That's a no-go, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wait. Is it anything important? Or?
Some +1 weapons and stuff, but
Yeah.
nothing really beyond that.
Who the
Shouldn't it be
f-
Like
too
fucking
big?
Not-
a year's
not
worth
also
of rations.
striking.
You got
Yeah.
that much.
True.
But,
Yeah, +1 rapier, a harpoon.
And I can see the total wealth of everything is like 90 gold in like a lot of random shit. So it's not bad.
And the majority of that's probably in like the artisan's tools and rations, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so your finances, have been better, but eventually that contract will come true with the 500 gold from the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will be rich one day.
One day, exactly. This is just a struggle period. Exactly. This is the struggle period.
There's a shiny vault right there waiting for this all I'm saying.
It's true. It's true. If you you show up with Emmett, he kind of asked if you're happy to go to alone, so he can start setting up the provisions from the boat and the contacts with that, if it's okay with you.
I kind of look at the map where he marked and I was like, follow river? Seems easy.
Yeah, you can't miss it, that's for sure. If you want to, you could pop in at Martel on the way. That's also just a few miles further downstream from Happenstall City itself.
Big town?
He's fairly big, maybe. I mean, a lot bigger than here. A real town, small city, some would say. Couple of giant towers. It's I will say, however, the treasury is in Martel, so that's kind of what it's known for. Gives you a wink.
Look at the others. Treasury.
It's also the headquarters of the gun marshals.
With guns.
Indeed, as the name suggests.
Must see.
I really don't like the guys your accent in those words. And moving your brows while you do it. What's up with that?
What? You just... No. Nothing. I mean, I just heard your friend hit a bird mention something about the vault here. He takes a sip of the bin. I thought maybe he had an interest in, just interesting locations such as that.
Real money. Concerns. Good to keep
A lot of them.
But apart from that, I'm not sure it would be that interesting of a city you should visit. It's basically, some would say, mainly full of governmental buildings and the like. Headquarters of gun marshals. A lot of the rulers of the duchy have homes there. Nowhere, not quite as indeed, not quite as interesting a city as Alpenstar itself. That's a much more interesting place to be.
I think we can handle it. Yes, we need help with the ship.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. He's like, I had a look around today to my instruments. It seems there probably won't be any more storms for the next week or two, I hope. So it should also be smooth travel for you.
You have a spare strider?
No, I'm afraid that one's kind of one of a kind. But,
Well, you should make two and sell the other.
True, but it's kind of labor of love. I'm not sure it'll even ever be financially viable. But maybe. But, I mean, it'll be good for you to do some walking after those months on a boat, no?
Sure.
Walk
Agree.
He shrugs. Well, yeah, or you take a boat and row down the river towards Alcatraz. That's your option.
And boats? Yes. Would be faster.
But can you remember, it was like 19 miles, right? Was the range? How far is the journey, like the big massive gun that's in the gunworks, the whatever it's called?
Oh, the Great Morve Overguard. Yeah. This, I mean, obviously you can fire it more, but then you lose a lot of accuracy.
Yeah.
Like
okay. Wondering if you could technically literally dig a channel between the lake here and the other side of the valley. To connect the river.
It would be fucking with the gun. I mean, it would take. I mean, you guys would take 3 days with mountain passes. It's possible. I mean,
it'd be shots that do 40-foot craters at a time.
40-foot craters, so that's nothing, right? 3 days of travel. But maybe it's probably possible to go some sort of drill. If they really had a mind to do it, Alpenstar.
Shoot drills on the guns.
No, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. The drill cannon.
200 IQ.
Gorgon.
Or just maybe fire us.
Yeah, you also discussed that method, I remember.
I mean, I do have
That's how you
wings,
end up like losing 2 feet of height because your ankles get smashed into your chest.
It was not that fun. That's not fun.
I mean, I don't think I can fly, but maybe I could float a little. Maybe not test it out then.
I'm not even worried about the landing. Mine is just the impact of getting launched out of a cannon that is wider than I am tall.
You just use a hit point and you don't die, so it's fine.
You're a puddle, but you're not dead.
So, I need to have what? Legendary acrobatics, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
to be able to fall from any height and not die.
Yeah, and cats fall, so almost
It does
done.
come really in
Almost
handy when you
there,
decide to jump
almost
off the
there.
back of a dragon at like 2,000 feet.
Oh yeah.
I do like the idea of this old man Nate's legendary acrobatics.
Legendary acrobatics. That'd be amazing. Catfall, yeah.
Just styling on people with cap up and stuff.
Okay.
But
You
guys
can
want to take a
discuss
boat there,
nerds to
or,
canon.
or walk?
Yeah.
We'll just walk, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay
Why
any more
waste
money
more
into
money?
anyone.
Okay, sure. So we can not go too slow. Yeah, so you spend, the remainder of, the rest of the evening, having a drink, discussing the options, just planning for tomorrow. And, the night passes pretty smoothly. You're able... Sorry, go on? No, sorry, yeah.
The Emmett guy, is he going with us?
No, he said he would, get basically the first shipment ready to go.
yeah.
Like, they already had some goods there, but they need to, find it. You were going to say
We already
down
explained where the ship was, so they could get to it and take it back, right? Yeah.
We had the axe from the cave saved that did we?
Giant axe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some money
from the cave.
Did we get the money
The
from
one that the super big.
That
Yeah,
did somebody sell it? I seem to remember you tried it, but the people here weren't they didn't really want it, but they said just take it out and someone sell it. I think it's basically how it went.
We'd have to carry it with us, Alkenstar.
Yeah.
Which is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be slow.
because we wanted the Emmett guy to carry it because we couldn't.
Oh, that's what you wanted for, huh?
How much gold was it?
I'm not sure, like
2?
2 maybe.
Who's got
If
it?
it's 2, I can carry no problem without being.
Don't one of you
I don't
have
think
it?
it's on any of our character sheets.
You
Wait,
got
what? No, Nate had it, right?
Because if you did,
I couldn't carry it.
even though it was being carried
Mine
by the machine, it would be on
Oh,
your
yeah,
character
the
sheet
machine
showing
carried it.
encumbered.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's what we were
What
doing.
do I
So,
add
yeah,
to my
we,
inventory?
Alright, let me check. How heavy does it say it is?
Maybe the water risk was carrying it.
Can I drag it onto you and this will just work? How much does that say in weight? 2, yeah, 2 gold.
yeah. The other option is technically Altair.
Oh, no, this is
since he's the fastest.
That's
So
true,
going
it's
half
half
speed.
Wait, but
would suck, but-
Jacko still is
But I'm not
encumbered.
even encumbered.
That's fine. Why didn't you
Oh.
try it from the beginning? You lazy
Because he's a bird.
I opened it like
fuck.
5 times, but nobody.
He's a bird, that's why. Lazy bird. Of course, I should have known. Should have known. Alright, you get ready for the travel the next day. What's it called? Nate. Not Nate, sorry. Emmett kind of, you can either stay here, but Emmett also said he can make up a couple of bunks in his workshop if you want. But sort of money was quite tight as you were discussing it all. But it is also quite cheap to stay in this inn. It's only especially if you just want a hammock space or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
up to you if you want to take his offer or
What do you guys want
I'm fine with either.
I mean, yeah. If it's super late and we've been talking all night and he extends like a bunk bed situation, fine. Yeah, let's just.
Sure, bunk bed. He'll put some notes on the floor for you, sure. Yeah, okay. Then it's basically it's a little bit better than you get floor space. It's a little quieter. So yeah, you just spend the night in his workshop, and you're woken up quite early as he's starting to get ready for the day's work and doing some tinkering to start it off. But the night was nice and peaceful.
Okay, as we're ready to go, I'll say to Emmett thank you. Friendly face after months of jungle. Appreciate it. Offer will stand. Open invitation.
No, great. Yeah, I mean, you're an interesting bunch to have a drink with. So yeah, pleasure at work. It gives you a nod. Maybe we'll run into each other in Port Pearl one day. If I'm ever getting bored, I'll hitch a lift down with the ship.
Ever feel unlucky? Look me up.
Will do. The chuckle in, yeah. You guys can start your walk on towards Alkenstar City. So, travel speed by foot. Ooh, if I need to look that up. What's the slowest one of you? Who's the slowest one of you guys? Is it Nate? It must be you, Nate, right?
Probably, yeah, with the armor on.
How heavy you with it? What's your speed?
Isn't it?
Yeah. Went with the armor on, I guess.
Okay, Draco, your air, I think it also helps with walking. I did not add much that helps with boats.
No, it's kind of shitty, like only look for can hustle a little bit longer.
Oh, okay, yes, only on this one, okay.
Like 10 more minutes or something.
Bog! You have to sprint for your life, you know.
Yeah.
What is it, Nick? 20, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 20.
Okay, so then, in a day you can go 16 miles. So you would hope, if it's like at the foot of the water kind of thing, maybe 1 to 2 days? No, sorry, 2 to 3 days, like maybe...
I mean, I can take the armor off, I guess, if you're...
Yeah, if you took the armor off, you think you could make it in 2 days. Like, but otherwise you might have to, you probably couldn't manage. You might have to,
I mean, Altair was usually doing some scouting stuff, right? That...
Sure, yeah, you can do it.
Downtime activities, like if we're doing like travel activities, my movement speed's like 60. So
okay, so you can always be doing
go fast enough to slow me down.
Oh, okay.
You'll see,
I would slow you down.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm trying to remember the exact speed. It's pull it up.
Yeah,
There's a scout speed thing.
Because I think at least at some time in the past you mentioned that.
I think it's 55, right?
There wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even when you're half, you still go 25, which is his speed without armor.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, you can always be, scouting ahead or whatever. And then I guess Nate, you can kind of, not your army in the relative safety. If there's something up ahead out there, we'll hopefully see it. And
how long does it take you to put in your armor? Like a minute or multiple minutes?
It's
multiple.
The heavy one. It takes a long time, I think.
Yeah,
it's heavy armor, right? Which is normally
5 minutes to don. So same for medium and heavy, actually.
It's not too terrible, I guess. I mean, we can, I guess, pretend I don't have armor on, and if we spot something.
Yeah, exactly. If you, obviously it was an ambush, it wouldn't be, but if you spot something
I
up
think,
ahead,
I mean, if we're teleporting, we're getting there so quickly anyway, an extra half a day to have you be armored throughout is worth it.
Yeah, it is also, this is probably the safest part, but it's still, a pretty lawless land in comparison to some of the civilized world.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure. I wanted to ask about the road to Oakenstar. Is there like a well-traveled road, or I guess but
normally it would actually people would actually travel by boat. So it's also like you could prevent it, but if you want to walk, I mean, you'd kind of walk next to the water, and there are paths that people take when they have to travel by land. It's quite like a well-beaten track, but a lot of the more heavy and larger goods do go by water. But you don't think you think it'd be unlikely to have any trouble from real monsters, and more like maybe people on the road who are a bit unsavory, but not really. Stuff like that. Tomasz! Classic.
Okay.
Yeah, you start off walking, and so you're walking armor, so it would take you about to really get to Alkenstar. Probably 2.5 days. And we'll say basically, okay, so I mean we're gonna do quite fast. The landscape is not very exciting. It is kind of, you're walking by, there's this huge lake, every so often you see kind of large, steam powered, or they seem no more normally steam powered, you don't actually see any sailing boats going past, and as you just keep on walking, you don't really see anybody else, taking the 5 foot.
Does the river seem clean enough to swim
in? It's very big, where you are here, the lake is quite large, so the pollutants here don't seem like that intense. You think maybe if you're closer to like the waterfall, because I built on top of the cliff, then at that point probably it would be a little less pleasant. But for now, it seems like it probably is safe enough.
Then on the slower parts of the journey, or like while we're resting, I don't want to get some swimming in, perhaps with Johnny as well.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you guys, get a little bit of water under your fins or wings and continue on. Yeah, the first 2 days go nice and smoothly. At the end of the second day, you basically find yourself seeing, you kind of see the cliffs, and maybe like, when you look, you had like a telescope, right, or something that Altair had. Or like a spyglass. A nice spyglass, exactly, yeah. You kind of, when you see that, you kind of like see the cliffs, like Alcatraz, like a big city, which will, show you a bit more when you get closer. And you also see like, closer, like maybe now, maybe like a mile or two away from you, so you could probably push on to get that tonight if you wanted. Seems to be the city you would presume to be Martel, that was described to you by Emmett, which is like he said, like a fairly decently sized city, but really kind of like dwarfed by these like two enormous buildings that seem to like make up almost like the bulk of like the city. And it's like very tall. It's like going up from between is like stone and metal bridges, almost like connecting the two, so you can like travel between them without like going down to ground level.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. We're in the desert. City named Martel. Are we in Game of Thrones? What's happening here?
Is it called Martel?
Yeah, the Martels, like Oberyn Martel and...
yeah, they don't own the city. The city isn't called Martel.
That's true, I guess. Sunspear, is it?
Yeah,
it's Sunspear. That's it. I mean, this pretty speary looking town.
Dorn's the same, yeah.
Dorn's a dog in a man.
Dorn.
So do you want to push on a bit and try to get like Swift tonight instead of being on the boat?
Yeah, I say we do.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad. Like, it's... Sure, yeah. What the fuck? I always mess around with a pen. I got so much ink on my fingers. No. Whatever. Yeah, you make way in, so it's already dark before you enter, so you don't get quite the impressive look at the city as you want to. You do have see a few things which maybe a bit unusual, which you have seen before, but maybe the common place of them kind of is interesting. Like for instance, street lamps. It's like while you have maybe seen some in like very fancy places, possibly in Port Pell when you were in like the wealthy district with like the merchants. Here they a much more commonplace, and like they're kind of just along the side of the road, kind of as you kind of like walk in, which is quite interesting. And yeah, it seems like a fairly well-to-do place from what you can see about it. But there is such, if you ask around, you are certainly able to find an inn for the night. And it is a little more expensive than what you're used to in both compared to the Shackles and Port Pell, especially where you can get stuff very cheaply. Here, they don't have floor space available, for instance. In like you can't just sleep on the ground in the inn. It's kind of a bit too nice for that. But you can there's like a shared dormitory, like almost like a hostel where you're able to get a bed, and that would be 2 silver per person for the night.
Oh,
I can afford that.
Can we afford that?
Yeah, you kind of people who are wearing quite nice clothing. You clearly you think some people who are saying probably people who are here for business, from like Alcatraz City, kind of like coming here for a night or two to do some work and then heading back. Out there, you pay for the party for the night, did you say?
Yeah.
I have a lot of investments. My liquid money isn't super.
Is Cooper with us?
Oh yeah, of course Cooper's with you. Yeah, of course Cooper's with you. Of course. I mean, if I can sleep outside the city, if it's
it's fine. I'm joking.
Alright. However, thinking about the wealthy clientele, trying to make money, you do see some people playing a dice game, which have done previously for quite sizable amounts of money. Is actually like kind of on the table.
We already lost how much doing this before?
Yeah, but
against like the level 1 gambling enemy.
How good
exactly. Can we lost to the tutorial gambler. I'm not taking chances.
All right. Fair enough.
But maybe I've learned.
See, I don't think you've learned what you should have learned, which is not to gamble.
It's a skill game, baby.
That's
They're better
that's
at
the
lying.
lesson that gambling should teach people, but it doesn't.
It's all a skill game, you know.
I do not
Yes.
play. Cannot do
What if I let
this.
you use? What if I let you use hero points of your d6? Then it's like then you have the edge over the house. Okay, yeah, okay. Then you resist. Yeah, you kind of watch your mega things, see people like sliding stacks of platinum over each other as betting quite sizable amounts on their hands.
Plus, I'd be
But,
super tempted to cheat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Have you ever seen pretty like this technology? It almost seems, well, the beast gunners. It was explained like firearms with magic. This seems like technology so advanced that it also magic, but it's not. So
It's not.
far ahead of the Shackles. I don't think so.
Well, any sufficiently advanced technology, basically magic.
I wish I could stay here long, learn.
We'll come back. Altair says with literally zero belief in that
Yeah,
statement.
sure. Come back.
Think so?
We're 20th level. We can tell them whatever for free. What?
There is still the Crystalline Queen to be saved. Somewhere around here. Isn't it?
Maybe we should tell someone about that.
Gods need saving. That's how it would be.
No good of mine.
Okay, yeah. So you resist losing any more of your money, and just have. I guess you also got to get food, right? Or do you eat your own rations?
The
Nah.
2 silver's not part of it?
No. That's just a logic.
It's all inclusive. I'll take care of. How much is
Shittiest din ever.
A square meal is only 3 copper each.
I'll take care of food, guys. Don't you?
Yeah. Thank you.
So the 5 of you, so 1 silver, 5 copper.
Yeah.
You
By the
get
way,
some of it spiced out, like sprinkled it on, and improve the quality of it was only a square meal, not a big fine one. He bumps it up a couple of notches.
by the way, for the gambling thing, maybe you should have us roll, and if we fail the gambling save check, then we have to gamble.
It's like an addiction. It's like a will save where you have to gamble. I don't know. Altair will kill you. That's the only problem. You can sneak out at night and do it while the rest of them sleep if anybody wants. You just DM me.
He is suggesting not to do it, particularly to Crixel. But he's not gonna try to enforce shit on anybody.
All of a sudden we see Nate just getting curbstoned in a dark alley.
As long as I'm just keeping an eye on Crixel because he's the one who has 90% of our party's value on him.
No one stop betting the gun. I bet you might be
Exactly. If we start selling gambling shit that we need,
Let's imagine you
teleport,
throw the car
Altair will
keys for
be
the
very
boat onto the pile. Take my boat keys.
That's pretty close.
We wake up tomorrow and Crixel is like, oh,
he's
guys,
out in the street in the
I have
nude with
something
nothing.
to tell you.
Yeah.
You might not
He
like
still
this.
writes our boat rights and the contract with the captain and
I played too well on this tour. I see what it is.
But they'll never take my.
Everyone's too scared.
pictures.
exactly the little wooden trinkets.
Exactly. You'll keep that until the end. Okay. Alright. You have a quiet night then. And yeah, in the morning when the sun rises, you can see clearly now, the town proper, and in its splendor. What's that?
Never mind.
Yeah, good one. Yes, the rain has gone indeed, and you can see a bit clearer, the sight, and also you can now see, some of that more Alkenstar in the distance, when the sun rises, sun rises when, the west or the east?
East.
Yeah, the sun rises kind of behind Alkenstar and kind of lights it up. You can see quite clearly. I'll give you the art. You're only a couple miles away, and you got the spy glass, so you can kind of see it in a bit more detail. So let me.
Sorry about it.
That's
Go
fine.
help Dad
I mean,
pick up a motorbike. Motorbike fell. Oh, help him pick it up. Yeah, he bought like a big trailer so he can put it on the RV.
Should be able to
Have a
now
big-
see it in scenes, but it looks something like this.
Oh my god. This is Alcastar?
Fancy.
This is Alkenstar City.
Ooh, boy.
Exactly.
We just have to still that blimp.
Yeah, airships. You do see something which looks a little like an airship, you know, in the sky when you're like, looking through the spyglass.
Then we're a completely other campaign again.
What's the campaign called? Guns and Gears or something?
Outlaws. Oh no, not Guns N'
I mean,
Gears.
Who here has not done a campaign ever with an airship?
I've never done one with an airship.
Really?
Done that? No.
We've done ages ago with Lloyd.
did?
Remember, Chaco? There was an airship
What?
with Lloyd.
With
With
Lloyd?
Lloyd's campaign,
That was an airship.
where my character blew up a factory.
Oh, wait, but we didn't.
Oh, I was also in that campaign.
Yeah.
I remember that. Doesn't
Did we
airship?
actually like
Wait,
drive the airship?
Well, no.
But that was
Oh,
we were
oh,
on an
airships.
airship.
Oh, okay.
We were on an airship.
You didn't heist it? That's unforgivable.
I was in one.
So there's always a chance of Echo's to get back for lost time. Yeah, but yeah, you see in the distance, and maybe you think you would hopefully get there, sometime in the just after lunch if you set off from here. You can see kind of like the passage, like you can kind of get up to there from the ground level, but it is not that easy. You can also see in the daylight that now you don't think you really want to be swimming in the water anymore. It's a little
Disgusting.
Polluted.
yeah, polluted,
disgusting.
also a little strange.
Yeah, I will keep on the lookout for like any mutated fish.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're walking,
Three-headed
you
fish.
exactly. You see, like, yeah, as you're walking over, you started to make your way. You see every so often, like, you're not sure if it's like pollution or maybe something about like the manowite itself. It almost like shimmers slightly, almost like a vapor. Like you have like up over like maybe something like acidy, like coming off the top. It's sometimes a little bit like vapors, almost like steam coming off it. You don't spot any mutated fish while you're looking, however.
I've seen any dead fish just like lying on the.
Not
So
even
busy
dead
looking
fish.
for mutated fish, you don't notice the mutated gators.
Which travels on water. Still here.
No.
What's that?
we-
No.
land.
But you on land, but I think every so often you maybe were like swimming a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So asked me in the first day or two, you sort of were like, okay, but as you get closer now to the city, it seems that you wouldn't really want to risk it.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't want you to drive in the desert, so.
Yeah. What does your water spirit think of this water?
They're
Okay.
very.
They're what? Mary.
They're merry? No, I mean a bit
No,
of poisoned water in here where it's like all kind of polluted shit.
Yeah, they're definitely. We do not like it.
We do not like it, right?
We are very against this
Good.
kind of water.
Can't wait
Oh,
for
do we need to?
Johnny
wage
to
war on
overthrow the
this
government of
thing?
Alkenstar. Stop polluting.
Maybe we need to destroy the city. Yes.
What's an eco-terrorist?
This city should not exist. This is not within the natural order.
It's with wave, like polluting water or allowing those who pollute water sources to go unpunished as anathema to your order.
We got a war on our hands. We got a war, baby. We got a war. Oh man, time to change my fucking Pathfinder.
Johnny's about to lose his powers. Let's go.
Suppose I have to sit down by.
Alrighty, yes, you guys continue up.
The Freedom Fighter arc begins.
I need to double check something actually. I need to check.
I guess
You kind of
eco-terrorist.
see from like where you're looking at it from distance. It is almost like kind of divided into like two halves.
Upper and lower
Almost.
city.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like divided by the great like waterfall. You, I guess, were traveling on like the south side of the river. So the side which you're like kind of on, is. Even from the distance, when you look at it in the picture, it is the wait. So I need to look at the picture again.
Yeah,
It's the right
lower
hand side, exactly right. So that looks to you to be more of the lower side.
The poor city.
Exactly. They got some special names, but I'm sure you'll find out.
Is
Yeah,
it
and you-
Bilgewater and
No.
what are the
Locations?
arcane city names?
It's under scenes, Jacko.
Summer Scene, thank you very much. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, what
So
was
you,
it, Josh?
I suddenly can't remember the name of the city in Arcane.
Piltover?
Thank
Zon?
Piltover Zon. There you go.
There you
We're in
go.
Zon.
You're in the
Oh, it doesn't look
it's
that
pretty
bad.
Okay. I mean, when you get
What would
close,
this-
I mean, yeah, exactly. You're just in the spyglass, hard to see it in a huge amount of detail.
It's
But
the suffering.
Can't see all the suffering indeed. What do you-
Go to the lower city for that.
the lower city. So I didn't check something. Oh yeah, so you continue over, and yeah, you basically get to the foot of these, giant waterfall. You're not sure the name of it, but it's quite impressive. No, you probably don't know. It's called Alcon Falls. Maybe Emmett would have mentioned it to you at some point. It is about 700 feet. It's it's a pretty damn big waterfall, and you can kind of see to get up to the city itself. There's it's not that busy down here, but at the water, actually that's not true. The river is maybe 300 to 400 feet wide, where it kind of turns into the waterfall, and you can see on the other side of the river there is actually a little bit of an activity between the lower and the upper sides, not very much in terms of people, but it seems that boats would seem to go out between Martel and the gunworks are necessary and the city proper are basically brought up by this kind of mechanism, which is almost to the side of the waterfall and the river, and it's almost kind of a giant rotating screw with water in it that the kind of boats are brought up to the top by the screw turning, and it seems to be powered by some giant gears you can kind of see on the distant side.
Which is in the
So it's
Netherlands.
quite impressive. It's in the Netherlands, exactly. This is where technology was. This is where technology was created, and you can also see basically a lift kind of next to it that the people who were on the boats are kind of taking up. On your side, however, you see instead there's quite a more mundane kind of racket or rickety stairs built into the side of the cliff, kind of leading up to the lower city, as Altef has named it.
The Undercity.
And yeah, you begin, I guess, to take those stairs to to get up to the above the cliffs.
I mean, Kirksall always looks very uncomfortable in big cities. I don't know. Do we have anyone who takes the lead in a scene like this?
He's a city boy.
Who's a city boy?
It's probably Altair. Yeah.
He's a city guy. He's a city guy.
Comparatively, we'll put it that way.
True, comparatively.
I will still stand out, just not as bad as these idiots.
He's a real uptown girl.
Yeah.
Uptown good.
The rest of hillbillies.
Right, okay.
We'll have we.
Oh, hey, I'm a hill bird here, okay?
No,
Sorry, what are you saying?
I feel bad about that one, sorry.
Shouldn't we be on the upper level when we enter the city?
You would think, yeah, the kind of stuff you want probably is more
Yeah, we
something
need
at the
to-
upper level.
we need
But
to cross
it
the
puts
river.
aside the river you want, yeah, it's you probably think it'd be easier to cross from above to cross from below, kind of thing. Also, that lift probably costs some money, not like the stairs.
Oh wait, so are we
Yeah.
not? We're down below the waterfall.
Yeah, you're the base of the
Yeah,
wall.
that feels strange because we should have come from the.
Or does the river
there's a
flow
lake?
from northeast to southwest here?
Yeah, the river comes from northeast to southwest.
So it ends somehow in this lake,
It ends in the lake.
Wait,
and there
what?
must be some form of
Yeah, don't question it. Mana Waste has weird magic going on. Ooh.
Yeah.
Man,
So
he's
the river is going the opposite
distracted.
direction than you think, Miha.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense now. I mean, it doesn't, but
It doesn't make any sense, but that's
It
how
does
it
not.
works in this area.
Yeah, it's there must be some kind of massive fucking whirlpool in that lake.
There's some weird shit happening. Some weird
It's like a
shit.
giant-
They just suction all the water up to cool the gun, where it just evaporates into steam, and creates rain before it's over and wanky.
That's why there's always these clouds.
That's exactly. Now
Turns
you
out the
understand.
valley used to be filled with water until they started using the gun, and then
That's why there's so much acid rain as well, because all the polluted water is turned into
Yep.
steam.
Yep.
Right, now we understand. Yeah, you.
All
Okay,
self-inflicted
I'm on board with the
wounds.
eco-terrorist plan. Let's go.
Let's do this thing.
You start heading up.
then teleport out.
Does it look like there's any other even like a staircase that like the poor people use?
Yeah, exactly. There's like a very rickety kind of like stair kind of case, like kind of built into the side of that goes up. But you know, what I mean, you're used to being on the deck, you know, so you're quite all, you know, you aren't very scared of like, you know, height. Well, maybe you are. I guess ships are good at height, but at least you know you're comfortable walking on like, you know, the wooden platforms and stuff like that. You know, and it's, you know, it's unbalanced. Up to you, of course, any use scared of heights. But could you give me a Arcana check?
I was gonna say wisdom save. Let's
go. Johnny, could you give me a nature check?
Of course. Hidden?
No, occult check,
no,
huh?
you can see this. No, it's not of equal
That's
knowledge.
Nature. Where's nature again?
Not two lands, not two.
Not 4. Okay. No, none of you guys, you know, are like that well versed in your magic. So, yes, no, there's nothing you notice as you head on up. And yeah, you know, it's a bit of a fucking walk up these stairs. Like, it's like 700 feet, so it takes, you know, a good, like, you know, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. I don't know. It was like pretty tiring, like, you know, just like going basically just straight up.
Oh, it's never ending.
But eventually, yeah, exactly. But just when you think, man, I need a fucking break, like this is getting ridiculous, you basically come out into the top of the town. And I will also have like a kind of city map which I can give you, but of course you don't like know any place names, but just, you know, so you can see roughly the layout of the town. You have this map. You have this map of cities handout, right?
There's like a neighborhood called the Mage Ward or something.
Sure. Also show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird orientation. This where, like, you know, don't ignore the north-southwest and east stuff. It's like, okay, this isn't even just the world. They have described geography this part of Glide so fucking badly. It's actually insane. Like, you know, for instance, like all the maps you look at, completely fucking different. It's like I saw some post on Reddit of a guy trying to make sense of it. But
it changes every day. Like
it changes
you
every
just blame the mana
day.
wastes.
It changes every
So
fucking day.
where do we come up? Like here?
Yeah. About 8.
Probably no 7. I'm guessing because it looks like
7.
it's backwards. Where technically south is north on this map.
Not even that.
think.
North is technically west. Like you came from the west.
Fucking
And you're like,
hell.
yeah. It's like it's insane.
So this is the flow of the river is going from bottom left of the map to top.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you come out. It's like, you know, around like kind of like 14 area, like between like, you know, 14 and like, you know, just along that kind of like wall. There's like, you know, some stairs kind of lead up, and you know, there's like an opening in the wall to kind of lead into that area of the.
What the fuck?
Yeah, where's 14? I see 13, but...
She's 13. Where the fuck is 13?
13's bottom left of the city.
No, you're like the top of the city, but the cliffs are like at the top. And
Yeah,
you
that's
just
what
came
I
up the
thought.
cliffs.
It's
Yeah,
just
so
weird that
14
13's
is like.
bottom left,
Oh, it's there,
14.
okay,
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
At the Halfon Cliffs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you came up on Hellfall Cliffs, and you know, there's like, you know, it's not marked on the map, but there's, you know, some sort of way up, obviously, from the bottom level to the city proper. And yeah,
Good
so
lord,
you're
it
get up
did really well within that little block.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
Okay.
But yeah, so you make your way up, and it's quite a. It looks like the area you first come in, it does look poor. Like, maybe not, you know, like complete, like, you know, like slums and like, you know, third world kind of thing, but you know, it is certainly poorer than, you know, even like most of the areas in Port Peril where you've been, at least in the area here. It's you know, it's a bit, you know, there's a lot of like smoke in the air. It looks like there's like a factory. Like, if you even get up there from people who've like, you know, spent a lot of time like the open ocean, and you know, like, you know, you grew up in like, you know, also reef, like, you know, basically, you know, a very raw and beautiful location. You can feel just like the smog in the air, and like just like breathing up here, you know, you can already feel it, like, you know, like you're basically just like constantly smoking cigarettes. Like, you know, you feel like, you know, it burning your lungs even just like a little bit. It's not enough to like be, you know, sick or anything, but it certainly is okay. Good. It certainly is not enjoyable for those of you not from this place. And you know, when you're up here, you can
it's
basically.
not enjoyable for those from this place.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess they don't know anything better. And you know, like a lot of the you know, like it's almost hard to see like some of like, you know, the sky past, like, you know, especially the area you come in, like all the smoke and everything just kind of filling the skyline. Exactly. Nate coughs to himself.
So, Crixio still looking to get back to this place as soon as possible. And spending a lot of time here.
Still worth it, maybe. But see what you mean. Dark side to technology.
Do you guys see number 3?
Or magic.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You can number 3.
Yeah, it's top left.
Outside of the city.
Region
Yeah.
of the gods.
Yeah, I really don't know if it should be there, but yeah, technically, I guess you would have seen this when you're climbing up. There is a very large bridge, like kind of that goes, like, you know, it's like kind of raised up slightly, you know, so kind of almost like lowers down, and if you kind of like look in where it's like, you know, connected to, but you know, it kind of looks like it's not connected to anything from what you can see on the map. But it actually, how would it look like? Exactly how I look. There is like a large, kind of almost like a fortressy looking building, quite different than Alpenstar itself. Like maybe I need to double check how long this is. The Bridge of the Gods is almost like a mile long of like so, you know, back then, like, you know, Bayhardting, and it like kind of does like a gentle arch, but it kind of like, you know, goes up like even like, you know, a couple hundred feet, where it seems to connect like Alpenstar City to this like kind of large kind of like almost like keep or like some sort of hold, like fortressy thing that's like, you know, like, you know, about a mile away from here. But as you can see it's quite easy to see. If anyone wants to, you could roll me a society check.
Mm-hmm. Let them find us.
Wait, so did you see that, or did you need to do a blind
I did,
one?
yeah, I did
Okay,
a private.
did we roll a blind one? Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, you rolled a 9. It's not that neat.
Oh, my society's pretty good.
Okay, you're not sure exactly, I mean, you haven't heard of this place, but, you know, from looking at it and, you know, the kind of architecture, you think it's fully dwarven in design. Like, it looks dwarven. It looks very different from the rest of, like, the Alpenstar City that you find yourself in now. Nate, you think the same, but you, in fact, have an idea what this could be. You have heard of this place known as Dongun Hold, which will kind of existed before Alpenstar City existed itself, which was one of the kind of like, you're not sure exactly what, but one of them, some people call them sky citadels, like what the dwarves created when they first made it to the surface world. And, you know, you've heard that there was one that's in this area of the world, and, you know, kind of looking at it and looking at, you know, the design and the size of it, you kind of, that comes to your mind. And yeah, it seems in some way to be connected to Alpenstar City, so you can travel between them relatively easily. But it looks very fortressy. Like, you don't see like very many, you don't see really anyone on the bridge. Like coming and going.
So it's a sky citadel, right, guys? Been a while since I saw one of those.
Never heard of
Hi.
him?
Yeah, same. That is new to me.
Does it fly?
Oh,
That's supposed to be.
not really sure about that one.
This one doesn't look like it can fly. And of course, yeah, like it is, you know, none of you have had very much to do with dwarves. There weren't really, you know, any in Old Saltreef. You know, natives
They're
who were
very
more
racist
expensive
against
time
them.
outside there. They just, you know, not that kind of place.
It's a very dwarven thing.
Right. By the way, do we ever find like a "you are here" version of this map so we know where we are?
You're kind of among the factories area, like in the north, like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I meant more so like, is there ways for us to either intuit or just ask questions to get the general locations of these other items on the map?
Yeah, I will say I haven't really looked at many of these locations because some of them probably, like, I'm like, I don't know, I've stole this fucking map or somewhere, so, you know, some of the locations are
You
weird, some of them I don't know. I mean, just Google images. I don't think I call that stealing. But if you want to, like, kind of general, like, you know, where would you go to find these kind of things, blah blah blah, then yeah, you can try to talk to someone on the street. You know, there aren't very many. You don't really see any town guards around here. So, you know, there aren't really anyone you can ask that question, but, you know, they're like, you know, passing by. A lot of people look like they probably just came off shift or going to work kind of thing. So you can try to, you know, ask some
So I
questions if
guess
you
while
want.
we're like at the corner somewhere, I guess I'll ask the question like, we don't know how many wizards there are, how many people can help us. I don't know how they see that magic.
And I'm just guessing that they probably live on the other side of the river. This seems more like the industrial, little bit, poorer section of the city.
Could be a poor wizard.
I mean, if wizards are charging as much as we expect to be charged for the teleportation, they're not going to be poor.
Probably
That's
in
one,
keep.
yeah.
Or towers, yes.
Yes. Like the stories say. So probably over there, and I point to like the giant castle.
Yeah, like the
Just-
castles, and there's a lot of like kind of tall buildings like you saw in the handout over on
Yeah.
that side of the
Yep.
river.
That's where I'd imagine we need to go.
Should we
I was-
ask around?
We can.
One thing that you also might have noticed, like, a little bit from like other cities, a lot of people here have kind of like, no, maybe that is. There were no temples. It's kind of interesting at all in this area, like the area you walked in. Even often, like poor places would often have, like, temple-specific gods. That doesn't seem to really exist here. Yeah, maybe that's something that catches your eye. There's a bit more people were feeling
Ominous.
like there's a lot more like injuries around. I don't know how to describe it, but like things like people walking around with bandages and like people who clearly are probably quite sick and have like disease, like beggars in the street. It seems like something here just means like people seem to you see sick people a lot more than often in other
Like
places.
clerics.
Yeah, maybe.
I just look at the general smog in the air and realize.
Probably also
yeah.
doesn't help. Probably also
Police
doesn't
the
help.
fresh air, bros. And fresh water.
But I do just like even kind of seeing that. I do just generally mention quietly to Johnny about maybe keep some of your abilities hidden for the time being.
There, bro.
They don't seem to be very magic forward, we'll say.
Could be
Yeah.
the best surfer in town, though. No
I mean,
competition.
there's no
that's a-
doubt of that. But I
that's
don't
a
think,
given,
yeah,
my friend.
most of the
Come on.
competition probably would have drowned in that fucking wasteland of a river.
Yeah, so
Yes.
could we make some money on that?
I don't think there's money to be had if everyone dies who goes in the river. But
Yeah, but maybe
Yes.
we have someone who doesn't.
Well, speaking of making money, if people are in need of Johnny's mud, could be useful. Healing them.
I do think that would bring more attention than maybe we want. We're trying to, get back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but
Yes.
apparently
I think we at least start by just trying to find at least a wizard who's capable of such a feat.
Yeah, but wouldn't that wizard be able to heal as well?
Not necessarily. From what I've understood, there's different types of magics. There's more like
Pain.
divine and
Right.
healing magic side, and then there's the more like
Can you hear that?
cool shit
Can you talk?
magic.
I've been on.
And wizards are on more of the do cool shit magic side.
I'm gonna like take out my all my Pathfinder Chronicle books. Like,
Oh,
follow
right.
this wizard, legendary hero, but no healing, only selfish magic.
The bastards. Alright.
Still useful.
I just, from what I know, I don't think it's possible for them to learn that magic necessarily. Those healing magic comes from nature or the gods, right?
Yes, they're
Those are
too
kind of your options.
stubborn to pray to gods.
Well, wizards, right? It's through study and learning and mastering the art or something. I don't know.
Wouldn't they at least want to keep themselves healthy through their arts?
I don't think they have much of a choice, bro. The kind of magic you get is the kind of magic you get.
Well,
There's different types.
if I were a mage, I for surely would learn how to at least heal myself. If not,
But I mean,
But that
you
depends
are
on which
probably
kind.
just as capable. Why haven't you learned? You've lived like 4 lifetimes, right?
I've
Okay.
seen 2.
I don't know. Never had the chance somehow.
That's,
Okay.
that's
No-
just like,
no
you know,
good
maybe
feelings.
you're good, you know, for good fighting on the ground doesn't mean you're gonna be good at fighting underwater. Kind of 2 different types of magic as well, you know, same thing, bro.
Mhm.
Can learn that as well.
Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned in general, also, maybe this is partly why the architecture would have seen from the two. There are quite a lot of dwarves in the general populace here. Like, probably even on this side, maybe like a 50-50 split with human and then, a few percentage of other mixed in. But by far, mostly dwarf and human.
As I see like a group of dwarves walking by, I'm like to the group, or to our group, like, figured out why not many dwarves in Shackles. They're too short.
Oh,
I can't see over a railing of shit.
these dwarves, I'm wondering who these little people are.
Didn't even know what they.
What the fuck is wrong with all these guys? Man, the fucking radiation is really bad.
Your voice is down a bit. I don't know many dwarves.
Well,
I don't know many dwarves, but I've heard they hold a grudge. So,
well, I can
Bad
stay
gamblers.
for a long story, so.
Okay.
right.
So, did you want to ask people any questions here, or were you heading towards the other side of the river, or what? Sorry, what
I
was the
think we're
idea?
probably heading towards
Up
like
and
the
down.
one of the bridges.
Yeah. Yeah, so, obviously you don't know the layout very well, so you probably just head kind of to the, to the river kind of side
Yeah,
and like
sounds
kind
of
walk
the
along.
river, basically,
Exactly. Till you make
And
way
hope
there.
we don't end up in apparently Hellside, because that sounds like a great place.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
It is. It's a great name, but it also sounds terrible.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you kind of head straight towards the direction of the river, and without too much problems, you kind of, see the bridge kind of in front of you.
I'm guessing number 7, the new
Yeah,
bridge.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And you, as you walk over, you do see, I guess, is it like this in fucking League Shocking? I can't remember. Like at the bridge, they kind of like at each side, there are like a few kind of like how would they look like? I think they have a gun for one thing, which is very rare, well, actually no, it's not very from the Shackles, but they are, kind of people. They have kind of a badge. They look like kind of policemen. They have like kind of like a musket on their back, like a sword at their belt, and there's basically like 2 of them kind of just like chatting to each other, kind of like stationed at like at least on this side of the bridge. They don't look like very on guard, like it's a common thing for there to be danger, but they are like seem to be stationed there.
Do they seem to be like wanting people's papers, or are they expecting something, or do they let some people?
You kind of like watch for a little bit to like see
I think I want to watch.
some people just seem to walk through without like kind of any problems. Maybe like pause for like a second or something, to say something, or you're not sure, but they kind of like seem to walk through pretty much unaccosted. You do see a couple of people like also get like asked more questions and then get passed on through, and if you spend a bit longer, you also see some people get like a question and kind of like just shoot away.
Okay. Well, if the others want to walk on through, I guess I'll follow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys will just walk on. Yeah, I mean, all you guys. I mean, maybe this is, I don't want to be like a lot of people. The ones you talked to in a way did look a bit, scroungy or a little bit like down on their luck. Although you may consider yourselves, quite, poor. The kind of stuff you wear, like for instance, natives wearing quite kind of full plate, a very expensive bit of equipment. You have like a gun, you have like the fancy helmets on and stuff. You clearly are not poor, just like the way you carry yourself and the way you have. And they kind of like
coral reef.
What's that?
Like armor. Johnny's still wearing that like coral reef armor, right? As well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you're very unusual, and also like you're a bird and a fucking like fish guy. So there's like something quite unusual, and they kind of so they definitely like give you a look, as like walk by, and they maybe stand up a bit straighter, but they don't say anything if you just kind of walk past, as if there's nothing happening. They just kind of just watch you walk by.
Okay. I'll keep
And
going.
yeah. So you keep quiet and make your way over to the other
Basically,
side.
act like you belong. That's the secret.
Exactly. Adventurers can go anywhere. We're adventurers. It's like you have the hazmat vest on. You have the adventure gear on. Yeah, you make your way over, and immediately, it is really, nice on this side. There's no really nice way to put it. It is, maybe, you just got it from some people talking, overhearing conversation. You've been walking around for 20 minutes. I'll just say, you get it. Well, you call it Lower City and the Upper City. The way people in Upper Side actually refer to it is Sky Side and Smoke Side. And now you have.
How is that worse?
And now you seem to you imagine be on Sky Side, and you see here. So can you give me another nature check, Johnny, as you walk over the bridge?
No Arcana?
No Arcana here.
Better.
Sorry, no, you ordered. Sorry, I wish you would tell me to ping up us on a different tab. Okay, yeah. Here, as you kind of walk over, the sundering, water, and you're not very far from waterfall here. You can almost feel some sort of primal energy, basically radiating from the river. You're not sure if the fact that this water, you're not sure where exactly. I mean, you kind of have a world map. This river, is traveling miles and miles through the manor ways, and maybe something along the way has affected it somewhat. And you can feel a large amount of just power coming from it. And I will say, with this, in fact, you notice you didn't really notice it before. You were maybe too distracted by the smoke and the heaviness in the air, where you were previously. But you kind of feel your connection to the primal energies kind of come back, and you don't really realize. But now thinking back a bit, you think maybe you were so distracted before you didn't really notice. But you think that previously on the other side, underneath the smoke and in that area, you didn't really feel the connection to the primal world that you now remember once more.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, but you all make your way over, and you again, there's a couple of guards on this side, and but they kind of more focused on the people going back over rather than the people who are already on the bridge. They kind of just let you walk past. You find yourself in a much nicer area. Here, the civilians are clearly wearing finer clothing. Every so often when they walk past, they have maybe a guard or a maiden with them, or handmaiden. I mean, and then also occasionally you even see, I guess none of you would have seen this. You see some strange sort of automaton with almost making a clicking noise and a whirring noise. You see kind of exposed cogs at the joints. It's kind of following people with some people have a couple of these kind of creatures kind of following after them.
More striders.
In the way they suddenly look similar. Have that steampunky look.
By the way, can we stop on the entry to the Sky Side and ask the guards?
Yeah, of course.
Directions, maybe.
Yeah, sure. You do that, Nate?
Yeah, I guess I can.
Yeah, they're where do you need to go? They kind of give you a good look up and down. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Would you know about, do we have some practitioners of magic here in the city? Somewhere nearby that we could pay a visit to.
You kind of give me a insight check or perception check. Sorry, yeah, that's what it says. He kind of gives you a look.
Hidden or?
Yeah, hidden.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll one too because I'd be looking for their reaction.
Yeah, he doesn't seem very good at hiding it. Both you, Nate, and you out there, you see he kind of thinks it's a stupid question. You're not sure why exactly, but he's yes, there are many here, of course, who study the arcane arts. Is there a university in particular you're interested in?
University?
What type of magic is teleportation again?
Arcane.
I know it's arcane. I'm at school.
Oh, school. Let me check actually. Evocation? No.
Transmutation?
Not divination.
Conjuration.
I think probably
Conjuration.
Conjuration. Really?
Yeah, apparently they involve
Interesting.
summoning,
Okay.
creation,
Yeah,
teleportation,
yeah,
all
yeah.
movement
Okay.
into a place and place.
Oh, it's
I
like
guess you're
Star Trek conjuring.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
elementary
I
cloning
can
yourself
teleport you.
and killing
You
Oh,
okay?
no.
I mean,
It's conjuration. Maybe I don't want to teleport. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
You're like, wait. Yeah. No, yeah. So I say, a school potentially to practice conjurations.
Okay. I look at ChatGPT to give me some magical university names. Oh, of course, of course.
Shagwarts.
Shagwarts, no. These all fucking
Haven't seen that
suck.
movie.
It's
These all
the
fucking
lesser
suck.
known porn version.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Let's
imagine.
we got the idea. Like, you didn't need to spell it out for us. Oh yeah.
let me Google that.
Nah, that's no way of saying
Related.
it, right? That's no way of saying. That's no way.
It's such a bad pun, there's no way.
Exactly.
Bad
Well, I
puns
mean-
are exactly why. Exactly how
I'm
it
the old
works.
man. That's my right. It's my birthright to make bad
It's
puns.
your birthright. Because you were born to pun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he says that the university academy that has several schools and buildings specifically on the different schools. You could probably go to School of Conjuring and find someone there who's could help you.
So
Would
they
you mind
can-
helping us point the direction? We are new to town.
Yeah, I figured. He kind of gestures towards the. I need to show you my map and then to consider what his perspective would be to you. Yeah, he points to this area kind of marked on 5. It's actually very close to you. You kind of see there's a lot of buildings and it's kind of like a pond around some green areas. It seems say
Gotcha. So if we head towards where that looks like there's like a big central fountain. that direction.
Exactly. There you'll keep heading down there. You hit the fountain and look for the tallest tower. That'll be the one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. After yourselves, I'll give you a look and see what.
Knew we
Like
should have
outside
gone for
rules.
tallest tower.
Well, I think probably the tallest is going to be somewhere in the castle, but
No, he
In that
actually
area.
at least he said
Oh.
to head towards the tallest.
well, I figured he meant like once we got there, look in that general area and tallest tower in that area. But maybe it is
Oh.
if it's the tallest tower in the city. Damn. All right,
Okay, yeah.
I'll take that.
Strong
It seems like as you
tallest
go
tower
and you walk
is-
around, there are quite a lot of academic types actually in this area, in the city as you're going through.
It really is Piltover and so on. City of progress.
Progress, exactly. Yeah, you keep heading in that direction. Yeah, you basically come to a
As we're
campus of the
going,
university. Oh, sorry, yeah, go.
Are there like shops and things like that
Yeah.
on the way?
There aren't that many big ones that do fully very high, stuff you may be interested in. But there are certainly general stores that would sell kind of day-to-day items. But there isn't more kind of
Less for buying, more for us selling. Since I know that's going to become a thing very soon. if we
probably
can
the
even
things
potentially
you're
afford.
talking about selling, a lot of them are probably a bit more. I mean, a lot of them maybe you would be able to sell in university, if they are, so you have some interest in sort of arcane items, which maybe want to be
the sand
looked
thing I
into.
could see.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of just a shop to sell them, probably not on your way to that.
Okay.
No, it's quite
That's
close.
fair.
But after just maybe a 15-20 minute walk or something, you basically come to a campus of quite a nice university. You have some green areas, a fountain in the middle, and various schools that kind of seem to be devoted to different topics and subjects.
Okay.
I will say, the class and monks, for instance, if you were, for instance, doing the one where you're teleporting to within 1,000 miles, which would make you just a little bit short, that's by itself a 7th level spell. So obviously, this is, it's very powerful magic. I'm trying to say, right? Even for a city this big, it's very powerful.
Is there
I mean, I would say from looking around, this city, I would say is level 14 city. So and you need to be a level to cast 7th level spells, you'd be level 13, right? So it would be so very well regarded in the city for the spellcaster, and you'd be you have multiple confessors who can do this kind of thing. probably wouldn't be at that point.
Yeah, multiple wizards like underselling each other.
Yeah, I don't
For the
think that's the
service.
situation,
No.
sadly. No,
We're probably talking about like,
yeah,
again,
Absalon,
like
you have to fucking go
top
hit the
1% of
15
wizards in
wizard
the
down the
city.
street, exactly. You know, like Absalon, you have only 8th level spell now.
Is it like a common area in like in these school grounds where we can maybe ask around? Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Like just kind of like
like
the area,
the
like the
quad.
fountain, where like where's fountain? Right, basically like the quad. Yeah, like in between the central, like all these kind of like university buildings. Like you see like one of the buildings is like like maybe not that close to center is like a very tall tower, which it doesn't really look like a castle, but it doesn't really have any defenses. It looks more like a kind of wizard tower to be like kind of something like that. And yeah, but you see a lot of kind of like students you would imagine kind of like walking about like probably between classes and the like.
Okay. Yes, should see if anyone here can help us. What does it cost?
I'm assuming we're looking for a professor or teacher, dean, something of the university. So
Yes.
I guess we should ask some students around to which if there's like a department or the specific part of the school that practices teleportation magic.
Or just
So yeah, as we're just kind of walking, I'll try to stop like a group of students or something and ask.
They kind of give you a little bit of a strange, you kind of stick out a little bit. Yeah, so can I help you? They kind of hold their bag a little bit closer to them.
Of course. Sorry, apologies. We're a little bit new, as you can probably tell. We're actually looking for a professor or two who might be able to assist us with an urgent need of ours. Would you know who we could reach out to if we have questions about teleportation magic?
Teleportation magic, kind of like they look to like want to know is like a bit unsure if they should be like be. So can you give me just a diplomacy check?
Sure.
It's a little the four of you kind of like.
You should accept the diplomacy before you turn it to fucking intimidation.
Yeah. I mean,
Public, right?
If the public. If the nice words don't work. Yeah, okay, yeah, you put them at ease. They were a little off guard by like the abruptness of the question, but they relax a bit when the conversation kind of turns to magic. It's like, oh, if it's teleportation you're interested in, that would be I suppose the expert at least would be Professor Thaddeus, the school over there, and they kind of like point behind you.
Oh, Professor Thaddeus.
What's wrong with the name Thaddeus?
No, I think. No,
Wait, was it Thaddeus or Sadius?
Thaddeus. I have a list, but I can't do the difference. It's spelled
Okay.
TH.
Okay. Because you said I heard Sadius the first time, which is like kind of a somewhat important character from Stormlight Archive, who's a real dick.
Made me squint my eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Thaddeus. How do you say Thaddeus with TH? How does it sound?
Thaddeus is right.
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Sounds very similar, both.
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
It's with TH. Yeah, so you kind of point over. I guess he would be the expert if you have a difficult question about it.
Ah, perfect. And where might we find Professor Thaddeus?
Well, the school's over there. They kind of point it. It's office. I mean, he kind of. You'll find it. He kind of like the consultant's giving you like a detailed instruction inside the building, and he's like, "There's a reception that you can ask, but I think if you look around, it shouldn't be that hard to find."
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your help.
Of course. Yeah, they kind of give you a nod and hurry up with the rest of it. They kind of like start chatting about like who the hell.
And now I rob them.
Yeah. Like, now the knife comes out.
First.
I think I have a great idea for us to save some money. What if we instead talk to some of the students and they could try to practice on us teleporting us free?
Have you ever had your hair cut by someone who's learning to cut hair?
Maybe.
It usually goes about as well as you'd like to expect someone who's never cut hair before learning to do it.
Nice
I don't
Shackles.
want to
That's
take the same
careful,
risk
Robert.
with someone transporting me across the continent.
Yeah, I mean, not a first-time student, but they could,
We could also enroll at this university and learn ourselves.
That might take a while, don't you
I think if we're in a hurry,
I'll look up the Secret of Thousands AP. 1 sec, let me go look up that book. Secrets of Thousands, how to become a wizard.
It's like the meme.
That's true. Like it's 2 weeks of downtime to retrain us. So how to retrain 7 levels.
And then gain an extra like fucking
Oh,
5,
but
and then be high level.
Full wizard campaign. Let's go.
Be good.
Hogwarts.
That or
the
Nate
other
can
one.
become
Shackles.
the. Have you guys heard of? Is it Mashal? Is that the name?
Not sure.
It's a fairly new anime. Where
Oh,
it's basically
yes.
uh,
Not sure.
I know.
National Magic and Muscles?
Yeah.
Harry Squatter. Yeah.
I've
Basically,
seen those,
it's basically like
those videos. yeah.
Hogwarts, only instead
What the fuck
it's
is this?
a muscle brain pretending like he knows magic, but really he's just incredibly, insanely strong.
The fuck?
Is
So
it like
he uses
comedy?
pretend-
Or...
A little bit, yeah. Very much
Little
played
bit.
for comedy.
I'm
I
gonna
actually
watch
highly
it.
recommend the show. It's very, very funny. So
Yeah,
take
it
it a
Looks
watch.
pretty
That's-
like
that
well
Nate can do that.
animated.
It is pretty well animated, and some of the fight scenes are really cool.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's been a while since I've
First
seen
season just
anime,
finished
so
up like about a month ago.
might be up my alley.
I'll
Yeah.
watch all of One Piece.
It'll make you laugh.
One
I'll
Piece
just wait for
movie.
live action to come out.
God.
True.
One Piece, like that's like a lifetime commitment. That's the problem.
Nah, it's what
That
them
is
bits.
It's like, you just watch the live
non-stop.
action, and it's good enough for me.
Yeah, then maybe one day they'll get that. They announced
Super
season 2, right? Though, Paul.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're potentially
quick
in
visual.
discussions to try to do also seasons 3 through 6.
That's a. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
they
say for Rings of
said
Power,
they have
so,
a- They said they have a rough draft for seasons up to 6.
what do you mean they got the fucking
You know,
manga? Of course they have a rough draft.
Yeah.
Falling Sword has been adapted already.
In
Like,
general, how to, you know.
Yeah, I
Things
know
together.
how to adapt it. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so do you head over towards the school?
Yeah.
Sure. It seems like probably the last couple of classes are happening at this time of the day. Like it's starting to be like an early afternoon. Of course, maybe people burn midnight oil there, but everyone's lazy when they're in university. Yeah. Okay. So you head over.
I begin to tell Crixel that the standard is normally you should ask students for a magic duel. You know, it's
I mean, you got a magic gun,
database.
baby.
yeah, can I use
Exactly.
whistle?
I don't know. I just know it's very much
Dude, while I'm at
common
Alcazar, I
practice.
should have a fucking gun duel, right? Like, draw
Sure,
10
yeah.
paces.
One of them turns around and Expelliarmus you, and
Bang! Valakadama, boom! You shoot him in the face while he's still saying the Valakadama.
Fucking shield, the bullets goes right through.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, yes, you walk towards the school. It is a quite a fancy building. It isn't the one with the larger tower. You're not sure that's like an actual kind of like lecture hall / school. It's maybe more just a big place. But yeah, as you go in, there kind of you've all been to a school before. You have like kind of like that little kind of like reception area on the ground floor where they kind of get the mail or whatever, and like when you're new student, you're like, oh sorry, I don't know where I gotta go. You are those new students where you kind of walk in, yeah, exactly, and yeah, you see some people at like a desk, kind of doing the administration that comes with running a very large university, and you at least, you feel you could of course should look around here and wait till you see an office with the name on it, but you also probably feel like you could ask it if you wanted to speed it up. So it's
I'm guessing it's in the top part of the tower, so I'll ask because I don't want to go through all the levels.
sure. Yeah, this one isn't too high actually. It isn't like the giant tower. So this one's it's
Okay.
maybe like a 3 or 4-story building. Obviously, very
Because
tall.
for whatever reason, wizards to equate
You
height
gotta go
of a
high.
tower
You gotta
and
go
where
high.
they are in the tower to their importance.
Exactly right. That's got to be the way it is. And indeed, when you ask for a session, she's like, "Oh, Sadius's office. Yes, it's on the 4th floor. You should turn right when you get up the stairs."
Thank you.
No, of course.
And jog our way up
To,
the
like,
stairs.
Grade F. She's just grading papers. You're like, "I thought she was a receptionist. Why is she grading the papers?"
Because the teachers don't do that shit.
You don't give a shit, right?
They make
Okay, yeah.
unpaid interns do that stuff.
You head over, you walk past, a couple of lecture rooms, and yeah, you find a office at the back, with the name Professor A. Sadius on the door.
Thaddeus, got it.
Knows the name. His first name
The
A, last name
Thaddeus.
Sadius. No, his first name is not the Sadius.
He says,
yeah. You knock?
is the door open? Or
no, it is closed right now.
I'll knock then.
Yes, come in.
Okay, open the door. So yeah, but Professor Thaddeus?
Yeah, as you walk in, you see this is a fairly large office, and it seems it's got a lot of like, you know, kind of like arcane gizmos and stuff and about, you know, kind of like little kind of, you know, like spinning kind of baubles that you're like, oh, what the fuck is making that spin, kind of stuff like that. You know, a lot of kind of like scrolls on the desk, and you know, some like, you know, big kind of poster board that has, you know, like one arcane sigil and stuff drawn upon it. And he's like, yes, indeed. Kind of like sees the four of you clearly. He kind of like stands up.
5 Coop's there.
Oh, yeah, Coop's he maybe he's he stayed at the ground floor, you know, in the waiting room. You know, he's like, lost stairs.
Sorry, apologies for the intrusion. My name is Altair, and this is Crixel, Nathan, Johnny.
I see. How can I help the four of you?
Well, we hear that you are the resident expert in all things teleportation, and we are in somewhat desperate need of services of the kind.
Yeah, to be somewhere else.
I suppose you could say that about me. Kind of looks the four of them. You don't seem to be from these parts, are you?
If he actually thinks himself as a resident expert of teleportation.
Okay, so give me a hidden perception check.
He probably, like, the way we even worded it offended him. He's like, you mean master? You know?
Yeah, expert. You think I only have expert proficiency? I mean, he certainly, you think he seems to consider himself to be at least, you know, he seems forthright. You see, you know, he is wearing wizard robes, of course. He doesn't have a hat on, but there is one kind of on the desk next to him, and he has a staff leaning against, like, kind of
from, like, Gandalf to, like, Harry Wizard, what type of beard?
His is fairly tidy. It is a kind of like between grey and white, like not the crazy kind of Snow White, but you know, kind of like very grey, down to maybe like kind of just kind of below like the collar on a shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's decent
beard.
Decent beard, not bad. Yeah, and he has like a staff kind of like leaning against the desk as well. You know, it has a kind of like a nice large kind of bluish gem at the top.
Ooh. Nice.
And he's like, I suppose I am. And he kind of looks at the four of you. You're not from around the university, are you?
No, we actually come from quite far away. You probably have not heard of it, but a place called Old Salt Reef. And we are in, somewhat desperate straits and needing to get back as soon as possible.
Oh, I see. I admit I am not familiar with the place. Whereabouts is it?
Are you familiar with Port Perro?
His eyes kind of widen. Indeed, I can see why you wanted a faster way back. I do know Port Perro, yes. I've been there once or twice.
About what? Was it 4 days sailing from it, right? I can't remember.
But
the
also
distance,
reef,
realistically.
I think
3 days.
Don't we have any maps? We probably do, right?
Yeah, you have like the kind of a
yeah, but I'm just trying to get general like
roughly
general
that. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know, it's like 3 days sailing, you know, a decent ship away like northeast of that.
He strokes his beard a little bit. He's like, well, yes, I can see why you would need an expert. Teleportation of that strength is not something that can be found anywhere. Is it not even easy for myself?
But
that is possible,
right?
He kind of frowns and kind of like, you know, he also has like kind of a map which he kind of gets out of, you know, a drawer in front of him, and you know, maybe it looks a bit nicer than yours. And he kind of, you see him like, he basically has like, you know, the kind of thing you would use to measure distances, you know, it is a science, magic at this level. And he kind of, it's like, I think going to Port Perro in one trip, and you know, to measuring distances again.
Would be an interesting challenge, wouldn't it?
Perhaps if I had time to do the proper preparations, it may be possible, yes. But such a thing is not easy. Indeed, he kind of, you know, gestures hand. I mean, no common amount magic, you know, it can be done, you know, in a flash, in you know, a state of emergency, in a combat situation is important. But when you have the time and the presence of mind to really prepare, you can sometimes do beyond what is possible in the heat of the moment. You could say you're not quite as slow and awkward as some of the rituals, but it at least has that aspect to it. Magic is, you know, it's all about the amount of effort you would spend, and that can be done in different ways. But it would still not be an easy task.
How long would these preparations take?
It's like, I mean, not long, but a day perhaps. But he kind of looks at you. I'm afraid I cannot just go teleporting adventurers around when they need to be done. Although, I do not find myself need to teleport very often. My magic is not unlimited, and it does take me away from some of my other work.
Of course, and we fully understand that and would willing to assist in any capacity, or obviously help pay for any types of materials or components that may assist.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders again. It's like, you are adventurous, yes, the rugged type, used to danger.
Correct.
Come with my gun outside.
That's fucking. See my piece.
Oh my God! Flashing his piece at him. God damn.
He's like, oh yes, I understand. Yes. Well, perhaps there is something you could help me with then, and if you're able to, perhaps then I would at least be able to make the cost less for you. He's like, please sit down, and he kind of invites you in. And kind of shuts it. You can see him kind of wave his hand, the door flies shut. And
cool.
That's great. And he conjures up some chairs from nowhere. He's like, please take a seat. Nice cheating.
I'm trying to see if there's a button on the table or something.
He didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
And you take a seat. He's like, well, there is something perhaps you could help me with. There is a place not too far from here, maybe, he kind of thinks, a day or two travel. I heard about it in some of my reading, some books I found. I had been meaning to investigate it for a long time, many years in fact, but of course, things, take other place. Things always seemed a bit more pressing matters, and I always thought I could do this in the future. Well, it's a large structure of unknown origin. Maybe, yes, like I say, a day or two north of here. But recently, he kind of thinks, well, semi-recently, a month ago, there were sightings from, he kind of thinks, nomads from that area, came back by word of mouth, of some sort of meteor or an impact of some sort that struck the land nearby, leaving a crater. People obviously scared of such occurrence and left before they investigated more. Upon hearing of this, my curiosity repeated once more. I hadn't thought about it for a while, but the place came back in my mind, and in some of the notes I have, it seems this place has existed for many, many years, long before Alcazar was thought of, so I'm curious about what its purpose was or how it came to be there. I sent one of my aides, I guess. Yeah, one of my aides to investigate it. I did not think it would be very difficult. The problem is, however, that it is in an area of very high magical instability. So I was unable to travel it easily myself. And he kind of, jets himself. And without my magic, I'm afraid I am quite a old man, and I did not want to.
With magic as well.
Well, yes, but with magic, I always offset the oldness. But without that magic being consistent, without that magic being, yeah, I figured you wait for kind of. Without that magic being consistent, and without myself feeling safe in it, I did not want to risk the travel myself. So yes, I sent my aid, but that was almost 3 weeks ago, and I have not seen him since. I have spoken to the gun marshals about it, but it is outside the city proper. They are hesitant to go further, and I do not often find myself in a position with adventurers so readily in front of me, who perhaps would be willing to investigate such a place. It would be very much appreciated if you could go there, find out what happened to my assistant, and what indeed is that place. Investigate it once and for all, as I have been meaning to do so, and perhaps see if you can figure out what that crater was about.
To do that. It helps us to.
Indeed, if you were able to bring him back in one piece, I'll he kind of like gesture. I mean, I'll happily waive the price. I mean, it's.
Okay.
I mean, I did not. If he hasn't been back for weeks, if you can find him and return him, I mean, it's my fault. He ended up in that situation.
We will do our best.
Great. Yeah, he kind of, he
He has the map
conjures.
out that he-
Yeah, exactly. But he conjures a
Describe where it
replica
is.
of a map that only has that section in it. He basically like looks at it, like squints and kind of conjures like a new bit of paper with the markings still on it, and he kind of draws on like a. He doesn't draw. I mean, he conjures the marking on the map. We do conjure fucking everything. To do what you want. He just conjures like a
Patricia
little.
sounds great.
Right, you do fucking conjures gun. Bam, bam. Yeah, so he marks on, and yeah, it seems to you that it probably maybe 2 days travel from the north. But yeah, he says you really won't be able to miss it. Like I said, the structure's been around for many years. I'm not sure how long, but I believe often individuals, the nomadic wandering tribes in this area have always given it a wide berth. I think they had stories about it being haunted or occupied by monsters. You know what the lesser light folks say. But I am sure, or I was sure at least there were nothing but
What was
stories.
the place? What was it called?
Oh, it doesn't have a name. It's just it's just a structure in the desert. Kind of shrugs. I don't know. The locals perhaps have a name for it.
And the
But
crater?
it is. I believe it, at least as I was reported, it simply hit down very close by to the structure, maybe within 100 feet or so. They saw
Out
it.
from the sky.
That is what the records say, yes.
Look at the others as if this is strange.
It's pretty strange. Everyone else like, no, it's fine. That should happen.
Mumbling rock from the sky.
Indeed, I mean, meteorites aren't unheard of course, and I assume this is nothing different. But it made me at least think of this place once more. And when I sent my assistant, as he has not returned, it made me worry that perhaps it was not a simple meteorite after all. Could of course carry some sort of strange illness material from another world that could have poisoned him. Such things are plausible.
Maybe you should not have said that.
I should not have what, sorry?
About the strange diseases.
I shouldn't have. I mean, I
Otherwise-
wouldn't want you to go in there without knowing of such possibilities. I mean, I don't think it is likely. But, I mean, something is the matter. He has not returned, and I'm not sure what it is. You read it, Josh.
We shall find out.
Excellent. Then, yes, I mean, of course, come back as soon as you have word or have findings.
Of course. Thank you for your time, Professor.
Thank you. And, kind of like stand up, as you stand up, chairs disappear once again, and the door opens.
Guess
I
we
guess I'll
head back down
Hmm?
and realize
Go
that
outside
we're
and,
abandoning
like-
Coop very soon. I don't think there's a choice right now.
Yeah, Coop's was waiting. He was having a chat with the woman at the desk. Kind of sees him angry on. How'd it go? Any hope of having to or visit sooner than we thought? All sword reforged at your home?
Yeah, correct. And seeming very likely. It seems like Professor Thaddeus can definitely do it, but there'd be a high cost and some time. And he's asked a favor of us to kind of potentially waive that cost. So we are
No, well, that's
off
lucky.
on yet another adventure.
Great being an adventurer. People always ask you for favors. Didn't realize it was
Something we're good at.
Well,
Seems easier to maybe pay instead.
I'm sure it's easier.
But this way we gain knowledge and experience, right?
But
And we
many
save our
days. And danger.
But again, true, but still, I think worth.
Yeah, I mean.
Plus, we're doing a good service, right? We're finding out what happened to the professor's assistant.
Yes. But seems confusing still. So much
What?
haste before and not now.
I mean, We're still trying to be fast. It's just, I mean, if this takes us a week, probably less.
Yeah, he said it was like what, a day or two away. So
Yeah, 2 days. And
so we're talking a max
back.
of like 5 days. That's still significantly faster than any other method we would have gone.
Yeah, I mean, we are months away from home here, so this is still the best option.
Yeah. What time of day is it? It's like midday.
It's a little bit late. It was midday when you kind of like came to the foot of the stairs. So now it's like maybe 2.5 hours later. Maybe it's like 2:30 or something.
Okay. I mean, we could just start heading that direction already. Get a head start.
Yeah.
Plus,
if you want
I
to
don't
help,
think
should
we
help.
want to potentially pay the price for any inn here. Just a guess, but it's either a rat-infested bedroom on the other side of the river or out the nose here.
Yeah.
So I'd rather
That's
camp outside.
Get away from smoke, yes.
You yourself now.
Yeah.
Coop,
So where's
you're
the best?
staying inside smoke.
Is it really only the? Okay, no. There's the exit to the east. Looks like I'm saying east on the map, like right to the right.
There's a way out for sure. Like it's maybe not like an official like big gate or whatever, but you know, there's a also it's gonna be a way out, but it doesn't make any sense.
A rat tunnel.
Exactly, a back tunnel. Exactly.
Which direction was the thing? I had missed that part while my dog was being cute.
North of where you are, so basically like
Okay.
east on the map, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So
Yeah.
the exact way we want to go. Perfect. The closest exit.
The closest exit. Okay, yeah. So you decide no time to waste. Let's get out of this horrible city, this blight on nature, and begin just heading north, following the quite detailed map which he created.
So is Cooper coming with us or not?
He starts to come with at least. So you know when you explain like he's like I mean, mind. I mean, I'll be safe with you guys, right? And you know, okay, maybe you'll need someone to run in with a potion and save your life again.
You're always welcome,
Yeah.
Coop.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, maybe, you know, if it's a really evil-looking building, I'll just wait outside in the doorway and you scream if you need me to come in. But, you know,
That's
beyond
fair.
that, I'm your man.
I mean, what's the other option? Buy him a week of.
Right?
That's
You're like, what is the option?
No option. No option.
Rations it is. Okay. Yeah, and you begin hearing that, and yeah, we're gonna do this decently fast. The travel is again quiet. It is very, you know, there's not a soul to be seen. You know, there's no fellow travelers in this area. You know, he mentioned before, like, you know, wandering nomads. You know, kind of reported like where we heard these rumors of a meteor, and while true, you know, they are wandering in the nomadic, so you don't see any like, you know, camped out anywhere, and you follow in the direction there, and it is. Yeah, he's sort of be a couple of days. You know, he was judging his own speed, so it takes a little bit less time than for you, you know, able-bodied adventurers. So about a day and a half later, so indeed about when the sun is setting. But even before that, you see this giant structure on the horizon. I don't know if I can show it to you without putting you on them. I'll pinch screen a little bit over something and then send it to you in a thing, but you will get a little, there's like a picture built into the map, which you will see later. It looks like this.
The discard. Wait, no.
In the Discord, yeah.
It looks like another gun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, for sure, yeah, you could get that impression, but it doesn't look open on the end.
Right.
It looks like almost like a triangular thing, but yeah, I mean, it looks like kind of like a barrel. It's true. But yeah, clearly, like, you know, if the sun is kind of like going down when you see this, you know, in the distance, you know, like, you know, so you probably get on and get there, but it would be dark by the time you got there, or you could go there early in the next morning. Yeah, it looks very old from distance. You see, like, you know, the layers of moss kind of like, you know, on the top of it, and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, built into the sand. Like, you're not sure if it has like fur foundations, which mean kind of like hidden by like the deserty kind of underbrush. It's kind of, yeah. But do you keep getting like, you go up to it while it's like starting to get dark, or do you kind of like wait, like, you know, a mile or something away, or what do you do?
Yeah, I think we probably do at least a mile away,
Okay.
and camp out. I don't want to camp there just because of what he said about the potential diseases, poisons, ghosts.
Yeah, I'm not the grace in the dark.
Great, yeah. No.
I don't want to camp there if we can help it.
Sure. Okay. You camp about, maybe a couple miles outside then, or a mile to a couple miles, pretty far outside. Maybe you find a little bit of shelter and some. It's kind of strange, like occasionally there's kind of big rocks with everyone's like, how the fuck did I get in? You maybe find something to shelter behind, and you have a quiet night. I will say, Tommy boy, you kind of feel it. The magic here is very unpredictable. You're not sure exactly what would happen if you were trying to use your magic. You think it doesn't feel like you're cut off from it. It feels very unstable.
But it may not do what he intended to do.
Yeah, it may not do what he's intending to do.
I don't like this place. Connection to magic is bad. Signal is not strong enough.
Yeah. Bad Wi-Fi. You need.
Do you know why?
No. Just this. A man of feeling, not knowledge, friend.
Know that, yes.
Okay. Yeah, but you keep watch overnight, but luckily you are uninterrupted. And yeah, when the morning comes and the sun rises, you can see now clearly this gigantic structure, which is really dwarfing the landscape. It's hard really to get. I mean, I guess you can kind of get a chance to sail. It's certainly hundreds of feet long. I know it's usually probably can tell it doesn't. It's hard to look at that and be it's like looking at a pyramid, right? Man really made that? Really? No. You just walk towards it.
Do we only see? Can we investigate the surrounding area or any signs of travel or presence of people?
Yeah, so you want to when we do a circle around it kind of thing to see if
maybe not, maybe a half circle.
Okay, kind of in the direction it's pointing almost, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will take some time. It's quite a large area, so a couple miles out. So obviously, and then you extrapolate. That's a thing. It would take you maybe a few hours if you want to be actually detailed.
Yeah, I'll say someone has been here close. Not usually. Should be easy to find their tracks. Good scout. Maybe something happened outside. Maybe something dangerous.
A hobbit lay here. Wait, what? Sorry.
Perhaps.
A dwarf, maybe.
Yeah.
Did we get any information about the aid from? We didn't, right?
No.
So, could be a dwarf or a giant or
Could be a dwarf or a giant.
Definitely a birdman. Or a tabaxi. Catman. A natural enemy of
My cat is
Crookshanks.
One sec.
Hopefully it's not stuck in a bush again. Stupid cat.
Stuck in a Catwoman's bush.
What?
That was what happened last time we played.
We were gone for the weekend, so I think now she's please pay attention, and it's just me at home now, but I guess to listen back, and then she's just meowing, meow, look, give me attention. And then she will
box up on your desk.
She never comes downstairs. It's in the basement. She never comes down here. And when she's actually coming down here and looking at my door, which she's done fucking once before. So she's really please do something.
Our cat is such a he's such a scaredy cat. He's an insane coward, right? We were gone. We left Friday afternoon. We arrived yesterday evening. Right? We asked my brother and them to come up in the morning or something and play with him a little bit or something. Yeah. Right? He has seen them before. He's fine. And they came up with the baby, and as soon as he saw the baby, he ran into the bathroom and hid behind the toilet.
Maybe scary shit.
Yeah, the baby's so scary.
Maybe that's scary. I react the same when I see a bit. But yeah, cats. I mean, that's why they call them scaredy cats, you know. That's where the saying comes from. Man. Okay, so you did. Was this your perception check, Quixel? No, that was something else, right? Yeah. No. So
No,
were you wanted to look around a bit? Was that the conclusion?
I just searched for tracks or something.
Sure. Yeah, you spent a couple of hours seeing.
Search for clues. The perceptions.
Yes. Anybody who's looking.
Perception.
I would be doing so.
Wait, wrong thing.
Okay, and you're kind of still not getting too close, right? You're still staying like some distance away, or do you think you're getting closer?
I mean, if that's where the tracks are leading is straight to it,
Sure, but if you don't find any tracks, like if you're like kind of looking, like do you kind of bring in your? I guess you kind of do right as you're going towards it. You're probably like still keeping an eye out.
Yep, a little bit. I wouldn't want to get too close, like beyond like a half a mile out.
Okay, sure. So you still want to be a few hundred meters.
Yeah, because
so you are. Yeah, you are looking at it. It's actually Johnny who is the first to notice anything. As you are searching out for any sign, and yet you find it looks like quite old tracks, which is maybe why it was quite difficult for you to find. They'd probably been shaken up a bit by the wind and the movement of the ground. But it looks like at some point there was probably quite a large group of individuals, like with kind of like animals and some on foot, who were probably like kind of camped out here and then left at some point. It probably like and had like tents and everything like that. So you kind of find an area which seems to have been a kind of resting point, and then Johnny, you think you get the impression that they left like in the opposite direction to like this structure, as like maybe a couple of weeks ago, like maybe like almost like a semi-permanent sort of like stay here for a little bit of time, like it was a little bit established in ground. You can see where the earth has been changed, and then it seems that it got packed up quite quickly and moved. And, but there are no tracks from here leading towards it. That is very clearly not the situation.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you share any of that? Or?
Yeah, share everything.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. I share all that.
All of that.
But then, why would
It's
they
not a
be
lot,
here?
but that is the mystery. I guess.
And so far,
But,
we've not seen any sign of like where the meteor or whatever fell.
No.
I'm guessing we're gonna have to be pretty close to the object or the building to see that. So
Probably, yeah. It depends obviously how large it was.
So
But
how far from it are we?
You're still like when Johnny finds this, you're still like over a mile away. So you're still pretty far. So it's like a small thing in the distance. Well, not small, but it's a lot smaller than it would be up close.
Can I try and hazard a guess with like crafting what the purpose of this building would have been, maybe?
You can try.
Give it a shot.
A guess of what it could be. I mean, to your untrained eye,
story.
it looks kind of similar to a gun, of course.
Yeah.
But it could also be. You also think it could also be, however, some sort of like maybe almost like an arrow or some sort of like almost like marker. Like for instance, like it could also be like almost like marking a point is like also the way it looks to you. In terms of like the actual crafting of it, well, it clearly is something which was made by either like very skilled people or by magic. Like by the look of it, like, it isn't something which is done like on a whim.
I'm curious to check out more, but could be dangerous. But do we believe
Likely
in
will
ghosts?
be. I mean, absolutely.
Ghosts.
Not sure if gun hurts ghosts, but can try.
Yeah, we better hope it does, because if not, we're in trouble.
But they leave tracks.
Not if Tengu. But maybe just old stories. Yeah, I guess I'll start heading over to the big...
Yeah, you all started heading over. Okay, yeah. When you are Maybe I'm always so bad at knowing how far people can see in real life. Maybe like 300 feet or something like that. Maybe even more like 500 feet. Yeah, like more like 500 feet. You kind of you are actually like walking now almost like underneath, like you're almost like the far end of like well, you're kind of just like seeing up and you see this giant thing above you, and in front of you, you kind of see like in picture right. There's like a vase, sort of like saying it's on top of. I'm actually gonna activate the map so you can kind of see, but you're obviously not this close. But the map is quite small.
Well, now that I know I'm on a map, you know.
No, you're still 5 feet away. You're not on the map.
This is like straight out of Horizon Zero Dawn.
You can kind of see right, like up on the top of the map. You can see like this little bit here. It's kind of where you kind of see almost like this entrance, like an opening in it. And you kind of
Just to be sure, just the way that it's been built and doesn't look like it can move or rotate, right? That's pretty.
No, it doesn't look like it. That also is why partly you were saying like it can't really be a weapon because it's also not really pointing. So when you like follow it, it doesn't like you can't see why they would be like sort of shooting there. Like you know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird. And yeah, the way like there's so many built around it, and like it's almost like lying on top of that thing, and like the base of it is also almost pointing that direction. If you know what I mean. So.
And it looks like that makes me think this was the way it should have been positioned. Was then like fall down or like
no, you don't really, no, not really. It also looks like it doesn't look very. It also doesn't look very destroyed. Like there aren't like bits broken off and like lying in rubble around. Like there's like kind of rocks on the map, but that doesn't look like that's the same sort of rock that's the thing came from. That's more just like random terrain.
These green things on the surface of it, there's like
moss.
Yeah, like moss.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like some sort of not oxidation.
Behind us to where it's pointing, is it just like the mountain range, or what direction was it?
Yeah, it's basically pointing in like the direction of like the shadowed range, like kind of just in that rough direction.
Yeah, I'll share like a unlikely to be weapon, more narrow, but big arrow, loose direction. Not sure what the worth is.
Yes.
But an arrow for what? Like mega giants? Like why would you need one so big?
Haven't seen many temples. Perhaps there's more.
Could be.
That's physical arrow, or towards.
Could be like a sail that catches the wind.
I don't think it looks like it's spinned, right?
No, impossible.
Catches something else that we cannot see, like magic or something. Who knows?
I mean, looking at the architecture, right, that doesn't follow normal like dwarvish or other styles that I've seen before.
Yeah. It also doesn't seem familiar to any society.
Wait, no, it does look like a giant sun panel now that you mention it.
Sundial.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What?
At a certain time every year, the light goes right there, and
now that we're getting kind of closer, is the metal recognizable? Does it seem to be some?
It looks more like stone metal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Like there's maybe almost some sort of like metal like in the side of it, but like if you kind of look at the picture in more detail, but the general structure itself seems to be stone. But as you are getting closer, and you get like about 5 feet, so much further back than like 5 feet from like just like on the opening here. You do have a sea like off to the side, well not even to the side, kind of like almost like straight along. So maybe like it would be like here or something on the map, right? If it was like if the map was extended down here, you can see where I'm thinking, right? Yeah, like kind of below you. You kind of see here like an impact site, similar to what was described, like a fairly substantial, maybe a crater like 60 feet in diameter.
So bigger than what the thing of Rogug does.
It wasn't the gun.
Was not the gun. True, was not the gun. Something hit it pretty hard. And as I'm guessing, you had like you're like kind of looking at this now. You see this, looking at it. You also, I'm just assuming you often use the eyeglass, to try to like see more detail when you're far away like this.
For sure.
You see, you don't see anything like in the crate. Obviously, you can't really look down into it, but it's like there's. I guess you wouldn't be able to tell. But alright, spoilers. There's nothing in the crate. but you stand up, you jump, and then you look. But you do see, however, like kind of on this kind of like plinth bit here. You can kind of see what I mean, right? Where I say like, there is almost like a bowl-looking thing, like a little bit like an oval-looking shape, like almost like an egg or something like that, of like this really strange-looking material, I guess you would describe it, like this kind of strange sort of like brown. No, not really like almost strange, more like a like browny reddish rock. Kind of thing with almost like kind of streaks of like some sort of like gold, almost like look like gold colored lava almost. It's like it's not really fun layout, but you know what I mean when I say like like the kind of molten sort of metal, like kind of like running through this kind of egg shaped thing, and it's just kind of like
the only the part that's made of that material.
It almost looks like more like that's resting on top of it. Like it doesn't look really connected to the rest of it actually from looking at it.
Does that look like anything I've ever seen before?
You can give me a crafting check if you want.
If it's related to shipbuilding, I have a bonus.
Sure. Okay, yeah, it's very hard. You're not very close, so you're unable to, to like to see it in a bit more detail. But in general, no. As you see it, and you actually see, some of like these like bits of like a lava or like molten rock is actually moving. I will say you're unsure exactly what it is, but it reminds you in some ways more of like something living than something metallic. Actually, like the way it's like moving almost seems to have some sort of like life to it. I guess you could say like life in the stone.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mention it. It seems alive, but
the material or the whole thing?
No, that's
the egg.
The egg.
That threw me off. I was pretty sure that.
Sorry, Nearby.
I was pretty sure that this thing was a joint venture between lizard people and cat people, so they could climb on the stone and bask in the sun. Should get hot.
That makes sense. Yes.
That's quite the idea, bro.
But this doesn't seem part of it. Newer.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Anybody? You guys seemed pretty unsurprised by news of a rock falling from the sky. Anybody know anything?
Yeah, that happens, right? That's what I think they call them meteorites. Yeah.
How often? Where did they come from?
I mean, across all of Galorian, probably hundreds of times from outside the Earth.
I've heard of ships being sunk due to these rocks.
It is fairly rare in terms of like humans stumbling upon it or ones that would make such a large crater.
Have you seen one?
For some reason, I remember stories, but I've never seen it myself. This would be a first. Doesn't seem that strange to me, I guess.
Okay.
Although if that egg is what I think it might be, then maybe it is.
Wait, what do you think it is?
I'm assuming that the egg is probably like
Why call it an
part
egg?
of the meteor.
Oh.
Well, it's egg-shaped, right?
It's egg shaped. Yeah, it's like kind of like an ovally thing.
Think there's something inside?
I mean, it does look fairly alive.
Should I shoot?
No. If anything, we need to potentially bring that back to the professor. Although, not it's on carrying it.
Don't know what.
I'd prefer not to touch whatever the fuck that is.
It's pretty big, by the way. Like, you're not sure if you like carrying stuff. Like, it's maybe like.
Gotcha. So it's time to craft a cart.
It's big. Like, yeah.
And then find box.
Maybe like a lot large, like a medium size.
Yeah, I mean, with our carrying capacity.
What's up with those fucking axe?
Oh my god. At least there's any trees that need a chopping.
Johnny, do you know or have an idea of what material? It's not rock, but natural.
Why?
I mean,
you could try rolling nature if you see.
Natural, not a rock. What could that be? Wood? Or what's left then?
This is like nothing you've seen in your part of the world.
I mean, for all we know, it
No idea.
it
It's not
is
from
a
the sea.
living creature, right? I don't know. Is it an energy? Is it? Fuck. I think we just go closer and be cautious, right?
Yes, search for assistance. Maybe they know.
Mm-hmm. And as we get closer, we can look for signs of footprints or, activity.
Yeah. Because that's like straight above the
Particularly-
entrance, right? Of the.
Yeah, basically. Or not even like above, like on the
Like
same level.
we have you said back over here ish, right? Is where the crater is.
Yeah.
Like, is there any signs of, consistent travel or recent footsteps between the crater to the entrance?
Okay, yeah, I mean, if you go up to the crater, you can have a look and try to,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So you go up to the crater, yeah, which was a bit further back, and yeah, you look. And indeed, you don't even really need to succeed on any sort of checks. You
Fairly
can,
obvious.
you can see kind of markings coming from the crater, like towards the direction of the structure, like the entrance.
Is it tracks and such that looks like they drag something from inside the crater?
Give me a perception check.
I wanna get on this.
Both of you know, as far as you can see, the tracks actually seem more to be something humanoid and like biped. Well, not humanoid, I guess you would know biped. You'd probably assume humanoid, like kind of.
It'd be pretty easy to tell if it was a biped versus something else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some sort of biped. You don't see any marks of dragging. You just see kind of like these, but they're big, sort of very deep, like so. Probably if someone was walking, like if something or someone was walking, they were like fucking heavy. Like even they themselves were heavy.
Do
Or,
they start
can't
inside the
heavy.
crater or like from the edge?
they start inside the crater.
So whatever it is that made that crater literally walked its ass out. That's comforting.
Seems like it. Or walked backwards into it, then vanished.
Yes, that's the other alternative. I hadn't thought of that.
Preferable.
Moonwalked its way into a crater and disappeared.
We'll never know. I look back to the building.
Are there any like the tracks themselves? You said they're fairly deep, but do they look like again? Are they like boot? Are they hooves? Are they do they have digits?
They don't see digits. You think they're pretty big, probably like bigger than a normal human, like probably some like sort of large creature. They look very flat. You don't see any sign of like imprint like from a shoe. You also don't ever see any kind of finger or like digits. Like it's just almost like a flat shape, like maybe like a boot, but something that's completely flat on the bottom.
Sure. Okay. The automatons that we've seen.
Automatons. What automatons have you seen?
In the city.
Oh, in the city. Sure, yeah.
Their feet similar? Would they?
Yeah,
I think they would.
Pretty similar. It looks like you saw a few different ones. It very much seemed to be like the creator, but very much could be like this. You probably would. They didn't have like digits or like toes or anything like that. So that would partly make sense.
And that's kind of what I was trying to get at. It's like it's similar in style in that like something not really organic probably making these is my guess.
Probably also something organic wearing shoes or something like
True.
like for instance like that.
Yeah, but even though like if they're wearing shoes like.
Often shoes have like a heel or like something.
Yeah, like there's a differentiation or like there's something for grip, right? Like
very commonly, exactly. Yeah.
On the soles, and this seems much more flat and like all the way across, right? So,
Wait,
like
I
moon
have an idea.
boots. Okay, let's hear it.
Something came from sky. Started walking. What if it's an angel come to punish those from city that do not believe?
What do you guess?
Well,
Possible,
it's pretty
bro,
fucking
but I'm
far
gonna
away from the
say-
city.
I'm gonna say
It got lost
unlikely,
somewhere
friend.
along the way.
I'll keep it in the back of my mind. I don't know if you're right, but I'm not saying you're wrong.
Preferably too.
But probably,
Monster.
probably wrong. Yes, I
I'm heavily
lean towards
insinuating you're wrong.
big metal creature or something. Stone, metal, molten. I don't know.
Maybe the
That's what
thing
I'm preparing for.
didn't come from the sky at all, and oh no,
It
it's
came
the
from
wrong-
the gun.
Yeah, but it's the
Wait
wrong
a
direction.
minute. Ian, I start preparing for the possibility.
Oh, what else mean this thing? What's happening? I've only been done. I was like, what's happening? I'm not paying
No,
attention.
no, that's unrelated to the dun. I wanna start preparing for the possibility of a
What was the done about?
for an
Oh, okay.
automaton creature.
Hunt for an automaton creature.
They
They're an
got a gun out of
oxymoron.
it.
An automaton creature. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there are
One kind of-
Okay, I mean, there's a big ritual involved. So you start, like doing the fucking markings, doing the arcane shit, all that stuff. Okay, it takes a while.
Alright.
So there's.
Do I see any other tracks that are closer to like what looks like to almost be a bit of a path?
I mean, there is like, you mean like there is indeed markings on it, like that that is on the ground, like that you can see that isn't just on the map. That kind of leads in that direction.
Okay.
But you're checking if there's give me enough check if you're checking to see if there's anything else which has been destroyed recently.
So if it's just the one potential creature, the thing, or are there others?
Sure.
Footsteps. Yeah. Let me roll again. GM.
So there isn't anything else inside the crater except for the.
No, there's nothing outside the crater. No, you kind of check, but it's also quite hard Earth here, so it's using it probably quite hard for tracks to say unless they're quite recent. They'd probably be gone. But you don't find anything else.
Okay. Well, when Crixel's done, I think it's nothing to do but to do. So let's go in.
Yeah.
If powerful bots walked here, could use for new rifle.
What
Strange
kind of
technology.
abilities that would give?
Transformer.
Useful.
The reaction transform into another shape of a vehicle.
Genius. We don't need a ship.
Literally just ride Crixel out of here.
Riding Quixel, my favorite.
All right. So yeah, we wait until Crixel's finished with his bad mojo, and then we go in.
Yep.
Yeah. Ready your weapons, guys, and be
Oh, yeah.
on watch.
Yep. And I will definitely be
The
stealthy.
magic doesn't go too strange.
Okay, move yourself on the
Yeah.
map like how you would be stealthing, but you do need some sort of. I mean, assume you're trying to stealth from the direction of like the the opening.
Yeah.
And of course.
What the? Oh, it hit the wrong button.
I have
There we
one
go.
charge of the necklace, right? Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
trying
so-
to like from the other
Yeah,
side,
go
kind of
around from the
go from stone to stone, keeping
Sure.
my eye out.
The least stealthy to the left, the more stealthy to the right.
Which side are you in, Quixel?
I trust in.
You also
I'll
trying
try a
to
little
sneak
bit
up?
more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
A little stealth.
I mean, don't do stuff yet.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Is that Nate? You're not going further?
Not for now.
Okay. I mean, yeah, everyone's in a position. Nothing's happened.
Okay.
Okay, I mean,
And we
do we
forward again.
see or hear any sounds? Or...
Yeah. As we're closer, do we have any kind of new idea on the
Mm,
oval shape thing?
not really.
Its
No.
movement seems to have
Say.
changed at all.
No, I mean it's not like moving. It's just kind of like the kind of lava flowing stuff. It's like still doing that, but it hasn't seemed to
Yeah.
move at all yet.
How big
the
do I
ships.
think it is now that we're closer?
It's like a solid thing, so probably it's like maybe it would fit inside like a 5-foot cube around that size.
Sure.
Like I don't know, it's like hard to say. So maybe like, yeah, something like that. Like maybe if, I mean, if like you would think like, I mean, you think it's living, right? So if like you were thinking like it was a living thing. For instance, if I like crunch myself into like an egg, I'd be smaller than a 5-foot cube. So like it's bigger than that. But no, you can't. I mean, it isn't reacting to anything yet or anything like that. It's just like just an oval shape.
Should make use of this. Keep moving.
But so this yellow, is it just like dying grass?
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward because I think it should be like more like kind of sandy kind of underbrush.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
it's just, but I get that it doesn't make sense. It just it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and consider kind of like standing in open. You don't really have any cover, and you're just it doesn't seem to be like
So let's go.
At this point, Pixel, you get pretty close. We need to roll some initiative.
May move like 1 square behind.
Yeah, sure. You were moving up with me, and I won't pause. As basically, in reaction, in somewhat to your movement, Crixel, getting maybe quite so close to it.
It explodes you.
No, it doesn't explode, but you see the form does shift, and like the egg kind of shape, kind of like curls itself, almost like like if a person was caught up in a ball, much like to a shed, to like to come out and to make this form of this very strange looking thing. It is fairly large now. It's not all curled up in a ball.
Dude, that's a fucking scene no more.
I can show you the picture.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
It is about on this ground. It's about 30 feet off the ground.
It is natural alien.
And we better roll some initiative. I don't know how it looks if you can all stealth Pixel if you had no cover from the thing you're trying to stealth from. I'm not really sure how that works.
Wait, is this plus 30?
I'd say it would all depend on its type of vision, right?
Because it's on this like pillar thing, and that pillar thing is like higher than the ground level.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like if you look at the map up here, right, it's kind of like you're kind of. I mean, it looks like it's way more than 30 feet actually, but whatever. It's like 30 feet on this map, I'd say. And then up there, it's like a little bit these things are probably like 10 feet between each of them, so you could like it would be a little dark, a little difficult to do.
Avoid notice exploration activity just says you attempt stealth to avoid notice while traveling at half speed. So you should like trying to be quiet and stuff. I mean, obviously it can automatically spawn me.
But your initiative is still within, makes sense.
That should be... Doesn't matter because it's the same.
Perfect. We'll start music.
Oh my god, the under 10 rolls on initiative continue. I haven't rolled above a 10
15
in like 8 sessions.
Nate's fast.
Yeah, no, I'm saying me. Like Altair is just like suddenly forgotten how to do initiative.
Hey Nate, did I ever make the music work? No.
There was some music.
But this isn't Nate music.
Oh yeah.
What? I never fixed it. My bad.
Wow.
So, what's the thing that I can do? Recall knowledge.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's what kind of role?
Depending on what knowledge you're trying to use, you can use magical, one of the lores that you have.
I mean, what that
usually it's like nature, arcana, occultism, society sometimes.
Cool. I mean, probably would be arcana, right? You
can try it, Buckon.
That's public, right?
Is this gonna work?
No.
It's a secret.
Secret, yeah. 1 second. Will this fix the music? Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Do you know what? So I made it work. See if I can get this one to work as well.
Just activating the module, or what you do?
I think they updated the module, so I needed to change the setting in it. But I don't know. I've got like a different module in every campaign trying to make this work with. So we'll see if this one works. I mean, but let's see if it works on anybody else's turn before we get all happy about it. Okay. Recall knowledge arcana. No, I'm afraid this doesn't look like anything you've heard tell about any sort of arcane stories or books about, the magical world. You're not sure if perhaps this isn't something that maybe comes to your sort of mind when you think of magic. Something not even like natural though. It's hard to say. It's something else, something other, something strange, something occult perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really. Do I even go closer?
Dude, it's fucking the thing works, right? Oh my god, it says it's like 45 feet and only 35 feet, but then it goes down. Oh my god, it's crazy shit. I love the elevation ruler.
We need to only. I'll do
So basically, like this thing is like basically around like the ground. I don't know, maybe I'm saying this thing is like. I should have decided this first time. So they're 30 feet up where they are, and that's basically like level with this thing up here. So maybe it actually makes sense to like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Sure. So I'll say like each one is like a 5 feet thing up actually. So like technically it's at each level.
Yeah, so if I move where can I
So you could do
Might
some
be
sort of like jump to try like if for instance like you could like go over here and like kind of like try to jump up like 5 feet, you know, because it's like, you know, it's like 5 feet, so you can't just like, you know, run over it like for your normal movement. But I think the leap action is like, is that up to 5 feet high? No, 3 feet vertically. You can do a high jump where you I guess it would be harder to jump 3 feet for like super easily, right?
I mean
so
yeah. But for a high jump, you can stride and then like make a vertical leap, and then like just do a DC 30. Okay. Pretty hard.
I'm just getting closer to it.
Yeah, but I'm saying even this is 5 feet up.
Yeah. So I guess I can move up to here, let's say, then try to intimidate that thing.
Sure, yeah.
For some reason.
Technically 35, but that'll be nice. You shout. What are you shouting? Are you common?
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, yeah, I need to shout something. I can just stare at it.
Oh, you have the stare. You have the stare, huh?
And wave the weapon.
But you don't have the stare. There's a feat to stare at it. You don't have to stare.
Yeah.
You do?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. You're just staring. Okay.
Just...
You're waving the weapon? Okay, yeah. Give me an intimidate. It does have a -4, unfortunately, because you're not able to communicate well with it. But, you know, still a chance.
Well, is it public or not?
Yeah, public.
Nothing happened.
No, they don't look very... They look down at you. They don't look very scared.
Other attention is... Yeah, that's my turn.
That's it, then.
Not
Okay, cool. Its turn. Yeah, like you kind of like run up, down there. Like you see how like in the picture, you know, one of the arms is, you know, almost like shaped like, you know, like a stabbing, you know, like kind of a stabby thing. The other arm, it kind of, you know, leans over and kind of like points down to you, and you see like the kind of lava or whatever it is, the blood of this creature maybe you would describe that. It almost like starts like building up and like pulsing at the end, it like growing up, and then like fires out like basically like, you know, almost like a ray of energy in your direction.
T3000 shit.
Exactly. Oh. So range attack.
Yeah, I wanna beat this guy.
It hits you. For
now we see how much damage.
21 sonic damage.
Oh.
You know, like the energy kind of courses through you, and you feel like your bones are kind of shake and vibrate. That's one action.
So at least it's not a lava thing boiling in.
No, it's not lava. It's not lava boiling. Okay, and then it like, you know, turns its attention to you, Crixel, on the side as well, and then fires another shot of these energy rays in your direction.
It's evil. I have +1.
Okay. It misses you though, however, you manage to dodge out the way and then being like, you know, hits into the ground behind you. Okay, and then you see it kind of, you know, some of the energy that was coursing into these, into this arm with the blast coming off of, it like kind of disperses from there, and you almost see it like sort of travel up the arm and kind of like into the other arm, like the one that has like the spike on it, and you see it almost like kind of grows in size a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is its turn. Pixel.
Not an egg, I repeat, not an egg. As I aim My dueling pistol added.
Oh wait, the music did work. Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
The dueling
fire
pistol.
At me, I'm gonna
okay,
fire
okay.
at hit.
Okay, like blasts over
Useful.
the, or like ducks out the way, I guess. I don't know. Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna drop that dueling pistol, and it is now useless.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna draw my growth gun.
Okay. Useless, sure.
Wait, I'll just sheath it for now.
Sure.
And how do I? Okay, where is it? Oh, there it is. Draw my growth gun, and then I will. What else can I do? I'm gonna kind of stride over to the other.
But Cooper's
guys.
chilling, by the way, like back at the about a mile away. He's like, "You guys, you got it. I see that weird glowy orb. Not involved." He's like a couple hundred feet back, watching with his with eyeglass. You know, like, oh, I guess I'm about it if they're about to die.
About to die.
Wait, so what were you doing? I thought you did draw it. Did you not have one more action?
No, I shot, drew, and moved.
Moved. Oh, sorry.
Do you not get your free?
No, you would have to go towards
towards
the enemy. Yeah.
I don't want to do that right now.
Oh, and you random.
Johnny.
Yeah.
So, but the behind is up. The creature, right?
Yes.
It's higher up.
Oh no, the same level. Sorry,
It
the same
goes
level.
high.
It's the same level.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, maybe the
Okay.
map's kind of weird. Maybe this should actually be lower. But oh well, I chose it this way.
And like this area, lower or higher?
That's higher. I'm lower, sorry, lower. So like it's at like the highest point, and like each of these kind of levels is like 5 feet basically, like every time there's a line, and it kind of builds up, and then when you're at the top, you're like at the same level with it. I
But
think
this jump
technically,
is higher.
if you're jumping from
This
this
is a
one
pillar?
up to there, then yeah, then it would be hard. Yeah, this is like
Okay.
sticking out from the top. It's like not connected at the bottom. I think technically it was maybe not meant to be like that, but whatever. That's how I have it. So like I can draw
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah, if you want to draw like how
This
the
is
whatever
5.
spot
This
is.
is 10. This is 15. This is 20. I'll say this is a big climb up to 30. That's a 3 right there. And then vice versa.
The spot that it's on, where is it connected to?
Yeah, you know, I think I just didn't look at the map correctly, but then I made my decision and then did it for the first turn. So, like, I'm going to say it's, like, somehow connected to, like, this other one that comes out, it, like, kind of joins onto it here, you know, and it gets wider. So, like, you know, you walk in. But yeah, I
So
know
really,
it's gone.
you could stand underneath.
You can stand underneath it, yes, you can stand underneath it.
Okay.
Now, if perhaps this thing got moved 5 feet left or right, would it then perhaps fall off its pillar?
If it was like this? No, it wouldn't. I would make it do a reflex save, but it'd be quite easy.
There's not much value in that then.
But there'd be a chance. Always a chance.
There's always chance. You know what? Fuck it. Let's try this. What's my movement speed again? It's been too long. Never remember. 30.
So fast.
I can get to here. Oh, I always forget. Was here, right? So, and then I will cast. Click that. Click that. The hydraulic torrent.
Okay, cool. As you try to cast a spell and, you know, summon your magic in this strange place, it feels like I mentioned before, your connection is very unstable and unpredictable. Can you give me a flat check, please?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Flat check. What am I looking for? Do I know?
Yeah, I can tell you. It's pretty hard. It's a DC 11 flat check.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Easy.
Easy, yeah. You battle through all the strange shit happening, and the spell goes off as intended. They get a fortitude save. Okay, it looks like it's straight at it. Looks like it is made of quite tough stuff, but I will.
It can roll a 1.
It can roll a 1, but will it?
I'm sure of it.
No, it doesn't. But it Does fail.
Okay.
Okay. Takes 23 bludgeoning damage. Okay. You see, as the water kind of like smashes into it, and kind of tries batter it to pieces. Some of like the layers of like the husk, like the outer shell, kind of like kind of move in like together to try to like shield some of its body from like the bludgeoning strike. So it has some resistance to it. Quite a lot of resistance actually, but it does get pushed 5 feet backwards. And let me try to give it a reflex save, like I said I would.
Come on, fall off.
No, I'm afraid it kind of totters back for a second, but then like regains its footing.
Shit. That's my turn.
That's your turn, yeah.
Nice try.
But falling off if it had rolled a 1 at the start, the save.
Out it.
Okay, God, it's so fucking far away.
Isn't here for these numbers? I thought it was some ancient script or something.
That is ancient script. Ancient script.
So, Lewis.
So I mean, this is technically like I'd have to do.
It's climbing up a lot of height, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, in 2 moves, when I have movement of 45, how far can I actually get up with the idea that some of these are ramps that climb up
Jesus Christ. I mean, technically it's like a climb action for like a high jump, because it's like a 5 feet thing, right? So you can't just like stride up it. Like movement is like shared between it, I'll be nice, but then it would still be like 2 move. It'd be like a move action per ledge, basically. Or an action per ledge, sorry, because it's like a climb action.
God, fuck this shit. Powerful leap. When I leap, I can jump 5 feet up with a vertical leap and increase the distance by 5 feet. So,
Leap is a 2-action thing?
Leap is 1 action. High jump is 2, and long jump is 2 action. But leap is only 3 foot horizontally, vertically.
That is, yeah, cool.
But then you can have powerful leap, and I think that makes it 5 feet.
Yeah.
It's a bad placement. Kind of need like that grappling hook to try to pull him down.
Ooh.
But I ain't the one who's going to be able to do that.
Nate, go fishing.
Ooh,
Exactly.
fish.
Fish him down. I guess I'll just go to there. First move. And then God. I definitely have my rapier out right now, so I'd have to fucking drop it to try to shoot a bow, which isn't gonna do. It's not even gonna do any damage with its resistance.
Its piercing damage might be
different.
Yeah, it's not. Again, if it was a striking one, I would take the chance. But if it's not, like the chance of it having less than like 8 resistance to piercing is so low. Yeah, so I'll use my next action to try to climb up this first step. Or I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I
it's
probably
like, I'm not gonna...
right? Like
No, leap is only 3 feet vertical.
Well, no, I have powerful leap.
Oh, then yeah, sure. No
I add 5 feet to it. So
yeah, then you can. Is it add or is it make it up to 5 feet? I thought it was add for the.
Let me click on it again.
You can jump 5 feet up with vertical. Yeah, okay, so it's 5 feet, not 5 feet more. But yeah, that's enough. So you can basically jump up. Yeah, with 1 action, just like jump up this step.
Yeah.
Does anyone have sonic damage?
No.
It does.
Like,
we need the doot machine, the trumpet that we had in
It has sonic damage.
the first campaign.
Yeah, we need like a mirror for sonic damage. We can reflect back at him.
Ooh, that would be.
I guess I'll do 1 more
Yeah, you jump up again.
to try to get up. Yeah, because I'm not gonna do anything else this round.
Yeah, as you saw jumping up these steps, big powerful.
Very stealthily.
Yeah.
Or I guess.
Technically,
Yeah, I guess because I'm looking at this like the dark gray to me in the ones look like they're kind of angled. So it's like, hey, that's where you can move up, but I guess they're totally different levels.
Yeah, I think it's like very
straight
sort
down.
of.
Okay. Yep. So we went to the next one.
Cool.
That's 3 actions for me then.
Nate.
Yeah, I'm looking at my options here of trying to drag this thing down, but the combat grapnel is, I mean the fish hook I have is really confusing.
You're like, how the fuck does this shit work? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing.
Because it says it's a combat grapnel, right? I'm not looking at the special...
Sure, the special ability, yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, combat grapple is really weird. So,
it says it's thrown with a distance of 20 feet, but then it says...
You can't read the description's fucking wrong. I know, I completely looked this up. It's crazy, it doesn't make any sense. In my world, it is, I remember, it is like, it has like the normal length of rope or whatever, which is like, again, 60 feet or some shit, I think, is like the default or whatever, for like, I'd say a rope. Is it 60 or something? And, and you just ignore like the 20 feet shit. It's like 60 feet of rope. It just doesn't make fucking sense. So it's like 60 feet, each range increment is 20, so if you throw more than 20 as a penalty. If you hit... Oh no, sorry, no. The grapple and tether thing means you can basically use it as an athletics check to grapple it. So you can basically do the athletics check at range, and if you succeed, it's grappled by the rope. And then you could try to do like the push action, but I would let you do a pull action basically, you know, like the equivalent kind of. So you would still need to succeed on you'd still need to succeed on athletics to grapple it with it, and then you need to succeed on athletics to pull it down kind of thing. So it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, probably the easier thing to do is just to climb up there.
Probably. It also it's in your backpack technically to grapple, so you have to get out your backpack.
Yeah. I mean, I could use the action to the helmet thing to change my equipment, but it's still one action to.
You still need a free hand to climb as well, right? Or two?
No, I don't. Well, I need one because I have something.
But if you're doing the leap, I guess you don't need a hand, right? If you have the leap, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can just use. I have powerful leap. I mean, it's 5 feet up for each of these.
Yeah, exactly. So you can do that. Yeah, you can just keep leaping. So you can leap.
Leap, I guess here, right?
Yep.
And then leap here. And I'm not in range yet, so attack.
No, it's still you're still now 10 feet up, and it's 30 feet up, so it's still quite far.
I mean, I can leap here still.
No, this is where my map is fucked. But this is the 30 feet highest thing you're standing on, so you can leap onto this one. Technically, yeah.
I mean, I can't. I need to move there first. Right?
True. Yeah. It's a little awkward. It's not an easy structure to get up and down.
Can't you? I'm trying to remember how it works. Being able to do a leap action within a move action.
That's a 2 actions thing called long jump. You stride and then jump. And then there's something called quick jump, which is kind of similar, but I think quick jump.
Yeah, I can move.
Quick jump, I think, just normally turns it into a single action instead of the 2 action. But that's what I mean.
I was reading the stuff during your turns. It's a 2 action to run and then jump.
Yeah.
Because the default leap only gives you 3 feet.
Yeah, exactly. But there is something called quick jump, but I don't think you have that.
Yeah, but I have the powerful.
Exactly.
I can do this.
Yeah, this is fine.
So I don't have to.
Is that your turn then?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. It focuses eyes on you, Johnny.
No. Never a good sign.
Right. And... So I need to check the distance. Yeah. Runs over and jumps off the ledge.
Motherfucker.
Trying to end up behind you. I need to give it a little bit of an athletics check. See if they go. Easily goes far enough to land in the ground floor. You see, as it lands, its feet sort of the husk kind of hovering, basically goped out, almost absorbed the impact.
Okay.
It's too hard for Nate to get an attack opportunity in, right?
Technically,
I feel like
it's 20 feet above. I would say
something.
Probably, yeah.
20 feet above, and then it falls. He has 10 feet range. Then it's going down, and if it was down here, right, you would be able to hit it, even because as it's falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can actually do it. I think you can do it.
Really? Like, I don't think it's not like a straight diagonal right to the spot. It's a out and
Exactly.
down, parabolic type thing, and that's why I
it's actually barely even going up. It's more just going like straight across even really. It's like just but they're so high up, they didn't really need to jump very far. So give me the attack roll.
Yeah, because I have reach, so it's...
Yeah, exactly. That's for sure. If you have reach,
time to crit it and fuck up its whole idea of movement.
Oh yeah. Hey, you don't interrupt movement on a crit. It's only manipulate. Unfortunately, it's got this hard armor. But as it lands here, that's to actually use it as a last action to try to stab you and run you. Oh no, wait! Bludgeoning damage to smash you with the fucking arm, I guess. It really looks like it should be piercing to me, but I will.
Yeah.
Wait, and I need to give it this thing.
It's token and everything.
Shuttle mess, right?
I mean, it does look like it can kind of, morph around a little bit. So.
Right. Can do some morphing.
/quiet.
The question is like, can it do it on its own?
That's a nat 19.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that hits. That's probably crits, right?
That crits.
This is gonna,
crits.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. How much?
54 damage.
Ouch.
We have 42 bludgeoning and 12 sonic. There, as it punches you, feel your body sort of shake.
Sonic damage is crazy.
That is its turn, though. To the rescue!
So that's the level 10 encounter that you planned for us?
What are you talking about? I mean, it isn't even a moderate encounter.
Not even a moderate encounter?
Nah, you guys just fucking suck. Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, it's just but no,
This guy!
It's not moderate.
Oh, this guy.
Just with an advantageous position for itself.
Yeah.
Getting cooked, lads. We getting cooked.
We getting cooked, boys.
I'm gonna go...
Like Johnny just saying, boys, we getting cooked.
It's bad.
Gonna go here.
No, okay, yeah.
Go shoulder Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and draw distraction with my cross gun. I'll shoot it in its face. I'll try to shoot it. I don't know if it has any reactions.
It does not react. Ooh, that is a solid hit. So what yours? It's like a modular weapon, right? What damage type? Well, what is it? Piercing, medical, or bludgeoning, or what is it normally?
Normally it would be bludgeoning. I should specify it, but seeing that it already wasn't very effective, could I have thrown in like some sharp?
It's an interact action to change your treat. It's not something you choose when you make the strike.
Normally it's bludgeoning then, yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay.
So
give me the damage.
Big
Oof, I'm afraid, like the husk to sort of like cover, like to like instantly react when the bullet comes in, and it doesn't even manage to pierce through the husk. Turns to the lead over otherwise.
So, yeah, I've got him. Run.
Okay, Johnny, your turn. Oh, you need a second, for sure. Maybe Johnny delays.
He goes into long conversations.
He's like, excuse me? I'm not gonna die right now.
So this time next week? Oh no, not... this time next week I'm on my way to Cuba.
We're not playing next week? The fuck?
Gonna start a crisis.
Dude, this way this time next week in one day, I'm going to Japan. We're all traveling so far. We're gonna be as far away as possible. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh god, you can actually do the meme now, right? Of like anytime you ask the boys where they're gonna be for the next session, they're like, and it's the Tim Scott. I'm in Iceland. You never seen this? Okay,
I've never seen this shit. You can find it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Easy.
Dude, can you bring back some cigars?
I think there's rules against that.
Yeah, it's actually like I know in the U.S. it's Cuban cigars are completely illegal.
Yeah, I know that. But can you bring it back to where
you probably smoke some.
You gonna smoke one? You gotta smoke one, I buy that.
Yeah, I'm that. Holy shit.
That's why you're going. But you don't smoke. You don't smoke cigarettes.
Nah.
Do you like smoking cigarettes? and you don't do it for this, bad view.
I didn't like smoking cigarettes. I'm not sure if my opinion has changed because I haven't tried it in a while.
Yeah, there's something comforting about it.
It looks so cool.
It's warm. I like warm, on a cold day. I've done it like twice. I remember being like, man, I was fucking freezing and it warmed me up. And that was the best part about it.
Also, playing with a lighter, huge advantage.
That's really fun. I had like a Zippo lighter, even though I never smoked or played like fire,
Oh, that's such a satisfying noise and stuff.
So it's satisfying, fidgeting around with it and everything. Alright, Johnny, what are you doing?
I will do what I do best.
Run.
Surf. Oh wait.
Surf. Okay, I mean, give me a flat check, Johnny. It's trying to summon some of your fire, more water.
It should be fine, right? Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, you're fine. Let's surf. Surf's up, baby. Surf's up.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge.
I will be low, make it low.
The wild magic here is just Johnny. He is wild.
So the distance is 10 actually. That means I can fuck away from 40 feet.
It's 40 feet, nice.
Yeah, every 2 levels increases, so...
Cool.
Oh no, never mind, just 5 extra, 35.
And 5 high, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I can just
What do you get up here?
This is, yeah, okay. Man. I get
That's
here.
a cool spell. Yeah.
I get
Didn't mean that far.
and
Hey, look,
you'll be fine. Sadly, what I want to do is actions. What? Maybe we can do this. Yeah, we're gonna do this.
give me the flat check. I'm not reading it.
Yeah. I'm on it. Ah, fuck.
Okay, that is a fail. You need to
Oh, shit.
roll on the wild magic table, baby.
Oh,
baby.
How much?
It's a d20.
Okay.
So the spell is not gone, but the slot is expended, and it's
Yeah.
a sudden gale. Okay, I will copy and paste what it says. You were trying to summon some aspects of the nature. Wherever in a 40-foot strong wind blowing random direction, each creature. Okay, so we need a 40-foot emanation coming from you as gusting winds start blowing around this area. Vision. How do I give you a 40-foot?
Each creature that starts its journey area must succeed a 40 to save or fall prone.
Pretty
And
crazy.
you must succeed to save immediately after.
I'll make it blue.
Make
There you go. I'll do this. Oh, this is the
God,
wind.
why?
He's the whitest color.
Why, Johnny? Why?
It's like in the morning, look to the east. What the fuck?
I love that. Wait, why is it not
Strong
painted?
wind.
Flashbang the party.
How is this happening? Is it just timing straight for me? Do I need to roll as well?
It's
or?
also for you, yes, it all affects the person
Okay.
in there.
Yeah.
I can't make the
Save.
color not go so crazy again. Oh, whatever. No, that's
Wait,
insane.
am I in this? Is this?
Yeah, I think
Well,
you
yeah,
are.
sure.
Just gotta measure, if you're 40 feet from Johnny, you're in it.
Oh, shut up.
What
It's
about
also
us
in
up
it.
on the stairs?
I would
I
argue
mean, I
that
think
Nathan's
you're
behind
in
the
it.
pillar.
It's only sticking out, it's not like a whole way up. You can be underneath it. Like, this thing goes around it.
Oh, I
Like, it's
see.
kind of floating in the air.
Okay.
Alright,
Never
but again,
mind
so
then.
I'm technically like
You're 15 feet up?
up, and then there's again like unless it's traveling through stairs, right?
You're
Like,
already 35 feet away? I mean...
Yeah, okay, I'll say you're not in it, sure.
I mean, I'm about
that'll
to be
nice.
fucked because I have to run through.
Okay, so you try to
goddamn stairs.
Instead, you summon, the nature of the air and, just huge amounts of wind and coursing around now. Okay, nice. Okay, your turn. Yeah, you just see it in front of you like the wind, Any movement against the wind in difficult terrain, crazy. Go in a random direction. So I guess I need to do the direction
Yeah,
actually,
you have to
right?
just say like and point arrows on which.
Okay,
direction
I'll
it's going to
roll a
be.
D.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, how many? If you do like a northeast,
D8.
that's a D8, right?
8.
Yeah.
Slash.
So let's start with
it's
the one
going in the
north.
direction.
That one is
The one
north.
north is going
Clockwise,
north.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clockwise. Yeah,
Clockwise.
yeah, of course.
Ooh,
8.
great.
So it is this way, right? So like
It will
So,
be. Yeah, it's towards the
northwest.
automaton.
northwest. Yeah, exactly.
This way.
So like exactly this way. Yeah. So moving against that. So moving basically. Also moving. If it tries to move towards you, it's difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What about going with
calculate
it? Can I like jump into the wind and get carried?
You know what? This is where they create circumstance bonus. I'll give people a plus 10 circumstance bonus at speed if they're moving in the direction.
Cool.
Ooh.
So I can like I have baggy clothing, I can like fly up.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So the question is, does this step that I'm on go under this thing here? Right?
Well, there's so many weird things in this map.
Exactly.
Sure,
Basically,
yeah,
it kinda
sure,
does.
yeah. I think
Like, I'm trying to,
technically
like, run
it's just below it,
around.
like it's just like kind of above your
Yeah.
head. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Yeah. So then I will
Yeah.
run to here and then fucking leap my heart out. Whee!
Okay, so you jump off, like you feel the air, like kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I have what catfall and
yeah, exactly.
acrobatics,
So you just like
math
roll on the
so, like,
ground, get to your feet
doesn't fucking
without a
matter,
problem. Yeah. Very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. Is that just one action to run that far? It is right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, no,
yeah.
I have to. Well, it's technically within my movement, but I would have to do the leap, right? Unless can I just run, fall
I think you can just
down?
run off the edge, to be honest, and like
Yeah,
just like let
basically.
yourself roll
Yeah.
on
It's
the
like
ground. Yeah,
tumbling my
Exactly,
full
yeah,
parkour,
yeah.
tumbling my way down. Yeah, so it's just
Exactly.
one movement.
Nice. So you just like sprint
Get there.
along the edge of the rock and just like roll and
Yep.
stand up instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I will attack it.
Yeah, with your rapier, is it?
Yep. Sure, that's gonna go well. Let's try it though. Oh
Ooh.
I'm gonna re-roll it.
Oof.
Okay,
Fuck
sure.
this shit.
Nice. Solid.
30.
Okay, yeah. As you stab it, it does seem to react. So like
Okay.
it isn't just like intrinsic. Before it was like the husk was automatically doing something.
Did no one hit it
as, like,
before
the-
this
not
round?
with, not with piercing, and that's what matters actually right here. So as
Well,
you
I
like,
thought it was like a reaction, and it only has one reaction per round.
No, it doesn't how it goes.
No?
I mean, I could say it was configured to kind of stop bludgeoning, and it's almost you see it almost like reconfiguring itself. That now it's like kind of using some sort of almost like chain melee kind of look, where it's like
Okay.
stopping the blade go in. But you see it. I mean, you're all like you see now it looks maybe more susceptible now to a bludgeoning as normal kind of thing. So it almost like the body is changing, almost reacting to it, evolving.
Gotcha.
So now it does have, of course, some resistance to the piercing.
All right. Here's
Yeah,
the
that's
damage
sad
though.
for my pike turn. So
Well,
sad.
if I drag this one, I click this, and now, cool. And now I can unclick this one, cool. So that's it. You can just see the name pop up live when I move it anyway, right? And I put on effects. It's so sad. Then you see this. 19. Its sneak attack is also piercing, right? Yeah, it just stacks with the
Same,
existing
yeah.
one. Yeah. Okay. So you do manage to make a little bit of distance through, but yeah, it seems like it was very tough now against this piercing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Let's see. What do I think its best abilities are? Wonder if it's worth trying to knock his ass prone
Mhm.
with the sickle. Fuck it. I'll do it.
Quite big things easy to forward.
Yeah. So basically, I can just do the sickle attack, right? Secondary attack, and count that because that's roughly
It's
how
the
it
same.
translates.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, your athletics is but it should be athletics, right? But it's the same as your attack.
But because sickle, you can make it right. Like it's like when a
But that
weapon
doesn't mean
has.
it actually means you count the item bonus towards it, or you get to do it with free hand. But it's the same right for you anyway, I think. But you still use your athletics. It's just you use the potency on the weapon, and the weapon if it's added.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's the same.
Cool. But then you can do a second attack then, because it will. Ooh.
God damn.
Oh shit, that might actually be a.
It is a crit.
Yeah, that's exactly a critical fail, I'm afraid. On the so that actually means
Cool.
you fall prone.
Ooh, is it still if it includes the bonus for flanking?
You don't get that on the. It doesn't make your reflex. This is against its reflex DC, not against its attack roll when you trip. And flanking doesn't affect reflex.
Doesn't it?
No.
Nah.
Okay. Cool.
It should.
Yeah.
They should change it and remaster. They should also make fucking grapple like affect your reflex and like immobilize you
Right.
like fucking -4. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
Fucking fuck spellcasters like that.
Well, that's fun.
But yeah, so unfortunately you get knocked to the ground
Prone.
instead.
Okay. Cool. And it's a
But you
perfect
can
time
just,
to
you
do
can
that
just
on my.
jump up, right? Because you have like a kip up.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's technically, because it's just a reaction, right?
It's a reaction. You don't even need. It's not even a reaction.
Yeah.
It's just,
True. I can just.
So you there's a moment of awkwardness when you topple yourself, but then you just kind of change it into the cool flip back, when you basically you're doing a worm or some shit,
Shadow glance.
I tried to make it look like I was trying to use the momentum of me falling on my ass to rip its leg out and then just kick myself back up.
Exactly. A vehicle.
All right. I'll say I won't tell.
Yep.
Nate.
Keep up, OP man. I love that shit.
So, if I'm also trying to just run off,
Yeah.
Can I? I mean, I guess I can't get extra 5 feet by falling off the.
No, you can't really get more distance now because if you were running 20 feet.
I can just move through Altair, right?
Yes, you kind of land on top of him, but kind of just run past him. Yeah, technically true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
And
goes
it's only
under
5
while I'm doing my.
It's only 5 feet from that well. So, oh wait. Oh, you also catful, man. It's hilarious. Nate is catful.
I know.
Nate is agile as hell. I love it.
I mean, I could technically get here by using my reaction.
Your reaction?
Well, that would be 25 feet when you only have 20 feet movement, right?
Yeah, but I have a thing. When I fall, I have the rolling landing or whatever.
Rolling landing. My god, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just I mean, he's a young man now. I like how you're so spry again. I mean, we keep joking. You're old. You're the prime of your life now.
So I'll do this, then I'll try to knock the guy down with knockdown.
Okay. So do the normal attack roll first.
Yeah.
The pike. Yeah, the solid hit. It is piercing, right? Because it's a pike.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it's quite hard to get through, almost like the chain melee interior.
Well, that's zero damage.
Resist all the damage, yeah. But you can still, then you get the next attack. Try to knock it first.
I mean, it's the athletics check, right?
Yeah, athletics attack, yeah. Nah, I'm afraid that's not enough. It's quite solid on its feet. Well, solid enough for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your turn, right?
Turn, yeah. I mean, I was thinking about switching to a hatchet, but it's 1d6, like 4. But...
Yeah, it sees you trying to trip it. It's not basically about that trip, but you came surprisingly close, actually. It seems like,
Crit failed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not scary. It's not scary. But Nate, you got surprisingly close actually. Although it was heavy, so you can get enough force behind it. It did seem a little more unsteady than you maybe originally would have thought. So it tries to show you how it's done, and using its hand, it just swipes your feet out from under you. Oh, I shouldn't be all public. Firebird.
Does it have trim?
No, but it has a free hand, or it has a arm, which doesn't do anything. Oh, that is a success. You get knocked to your ass, Nate. Give yourself that prone condition.
Yeah.
And then it basically then tries to slam twice with its fist into you.
Does it still have fists?
Or fist? I don't know. It's
because I'm trying to remember. Cause I've actually seen this creature before in different campaigns.
What? You've seen this creature before? It's so new.
Something, I think it was based on it. A friend did it. It was for, Anyway, doesn't it its weapons change based on its reaction for damages?
Its weapons don't change. No.
No.
It did. Okay. I mean, the reaction.
Maybe that's that was the that's I don't know the exact rules. I don't remember what happened against the.
Yeah, it's only its defenses that change.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. The energy ray also kind of changes, but not that much.
Yeah, because my the GM that we were playing with when I saw this,
oh no, you lied. Wait, what? It does. But wait, this makes it better. Thank you. Oh, now it's a deadly weapon.
Never mind. It definitely shouldn't happen.
Oh, okay. Now it is indeed piercing. It's very sharp. It stabs down at you and becomes a deadly weapon. Okay.
That's crit, right? I just use.
If you die, I'm very, very sorry.
It crits.
God damn it.
For 44 plus another d8.
Lovely.
47 total, mostly piercing with a little bit of sonic mixed in as it, like vibrates through you. I mean, seeing how well that works, it just stabs down again. I mean, how could he resist? Oh shit! Wait! No, I'm lying. I'm lying. He did the attack. He did a trip. That's an attack. So he should have had the multiple attack penalty, which I forgot.
That's
So
what I
it's
said.
-5. So it's actually 1 off a crit instead.
Yay!
Oh, which means
That's so much less
instead of
damage.
doing that, it is instead 8 plus this. Exactly. He was have all of that. And so 22 damage instead.
Nice.
Oh, easy.
I like that. That's way
Easy. And then it has a -10.
See, now just to
Next
make up for it, it's
attack.
gonna like nat 20.
Good. Does it do a -10
It's a bastard.
attack? That's good, dude. Yeah, I think it would. It's -10 to you, baby.
Run away.
Oh my god, and that 20, huh?
20? Oh my
That
God.
20, huh? Holy fucking shit. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I call that shit.
Holy fuck, huh?
Is
Okay.
there a point to reward?
You would. Okay. Hits you for 62 as it just stabs down, like, in the barely. It doesn't go right through the heart, but that's gonna be an instant death. But it basically
Alright.
cuts off a few ventricles.
Thank
So
God
just
he's a
say
tank.
Orla, he doesn't need help. It's fine.
Quicksilver.
I would be
Yeah, blood
very
just
dead
spurts
with
out.
those 2 attacks.
Yeah, better me than you, right?
Good lord.
What have we got?
In the bathroom. Sorry, I had to stupid beer, man.
Can't hold his liquor.
Do I try to trip it? I would have to drop a weapon. I can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I can try again.
But really good athletics. I maybe should get more into like a little combat maneuvery. But, can everybody frighten it?
I mean, I could do an intimidation check.
How good are you? How good is your mean face?
It's a +13.
I'm considering just
Ooh.
you making a pool
No,
of water.
it's not
just
gonna
all
be
of
enough.
you, all
I
of
was
you
saying-
with it in water. Can't fall through water, right?
Can we not?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm pretty.
I mean, yeah, but
I would say
there's a flat
that's.
check.
Oh,
and
yeah. We don't
something
want to
happens.
deal with like you casting spells
I
right
mean-
now. Is the problem?
Okay, I'll just go. I'll just go hide in a corner then.
No. Like, because you can do your mud plaster, right? You can go up and like.
Oh, he's
heal.
not getting back in there.
No, that's magic.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
It's,
how I get the
Oh,
mud.
see, I thought it was like the equivalent of battle medicine.
No, no.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
He's had a couple nicks so far. Have you seen him like bleed any liquid or something? Anything similar to blood?
Anything similar to liquid? Yeah.
Can it bleed?
It can bleed. Like it bleeds like the strange kind of energy liquid that is making it up. But it bleeds. It's like drops of its fatty on the ground.
I'll embrace the cold necklace on my neck.
What the fuck? That's evil.
And give my weapon attacks wounding.
Okay.
And then,
The fuck?
I
you can do
will-
that? Insane.
yeah, with one charge. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I will...
You get doomed one, remember?
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
You feel some of. Is this like the? No, you used it before, right? Yeah, you feel
used it
some
before.
of your life, or some may call it a soul. Go into the command.
I got it back. It's fine.
Bad idea.
Yeah, you'll get it back. Yeah, don't worry about it.
And then I will try to shoot him.
Yeah, point blank. Shoot in the back of the head.
He's distracted, so please crit. Ah,
It's a very solid hit, but just a hit, I'm afraid. Yeah, and it's bludgeoning now, right?
that's bludgeoning, yes.
Okay, it evolves before your eyes, as they change from this chainmail look to more like solid planks or plates. This does, however, of course, mean that it doesn't look so resistant to piercing anymore, but it does remove all of that damage.
Okay, then with my final action, I'll try to slash at it.
Okay. Were you doing your reloading strike or whatever?
Yeah,
I
reloading
guess.
strike, exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
So with -4.
Solid hit. Ooh, thanks to the off guard.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, so now it cuts in deep, you know, you manage to slice through the gaps in the armor.
Yeah, that's some good
And it takes the full damage.
Still
Blood
very
is
good.
spilled.
So,
Yeah, it's
Oh, and it is now, because of the wounding, it takes 1d.
That isn't just on crit?
Oh.
The fuck?
When
Maybe
you hit
no,
a
maybe
creature with
it
a
isn't
wounding weapon, you do an
actually.
extra 1d6 persistent bleed
The
damage.
fuck? Too good. I changed the ability of the thing. Okay, I'll drag it on. Can I drag it on from here? How do I drag it on? No. What the fuck? Okay, I didn't do it manually. Persistent damage, 1d6 speed.
Sick.
Nice. Johnny, be good.
Why not?
Please be good.
Oh, fuck the wind! We thought about everyone falling over! Jesus
Oh.
Christ!
I'll do it for you.
Next round.
Everyone's
Except Johnny, of course, you also have to save, so you do need a check. We remember just in time for your turn.
I rolled before.
You rolled
I
the
was
full
gonna
save
say-
before?
Yeah, one
Yeah, I
quick
rolled
thing
for me,
is
okay.
everyone kind of is like
Compared
there's
to
a
the other-
full set of stairs and shit between at least
No,
most
this
of the party
is
besides.
full set of stairs.
I mean,
Johnny
look at
does
that! Look at all these things here
But isn't
between.
Johnny on this level? Because like, look at the stuff he's standing on. It must be like on this level, right?
But again,
on
that
this
would
one.
be like a 5-foot one. So like, there's
Yeah,
at least
true,
All of you
Might be
are
above
lower
us.
than me.
so it'd be going over our heads.
What's your
Yeah.
animation?
yeah,
I'm gonna cast a spell and just activate something
Like,
else.
we're on the same level, there's
Alright,
points in
fine.
between us.
Alright. I'll say Johnny's
Yeah.
keeping out of the way. Okay. You're right on the edge of the wind. So it means he can't get in close to you. But you actually made a force save, I guess, Johnny, or full phone. Oh no, you said you already did something, but were you meant to do it at the beginning and again?
Oh no, I
failed, right?
to realize. I failed to realize that it was on the start of my turn, and that was, I guess, the end of my turn. But I don't know when it is. I rolled once, but I rolled again.
And it was a 20. Okay,
Crap.
yeah, but you should be prone, right?
I don't know if this happened immediately as well. don't know.
No, I just meant if we use that roll now.
Yeah. So let's just roll as it should be rolled. Unprompted rolls. You know, usually not
arguing.
counted. You know.
I can't be fucked arguing, sure, roll again. Alright, you're fine. Oh man. Okay, you're casting another spell, you say?
Yeah, that's about all I can do, really. You know, I'm kind of a magic
kind of my thing. Yeah, okay.
kind
But
of.
tell me what spell it is before you roll, but you do lose the slot, of course, or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm very much just considering going back, just cantrips, trying to do a little bit of that.
Yeah, sure.
Just because, like, at this point.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh shit, but that's 30 feet range. I'm gonna have to get closer, which is fine. Is it emanating from me or from the spot I'm in?
I think it's from you if it's an emanation.
Is it?
It says, are we to the end? I think so. Weapon at 40-foot emanation disturbed. A 40-foot emanation. Like, no, because an aura moves with you. An emanation slightly different, I think. But it's on your token. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna. You were here, right? I'm making up. I don't know.
I was 2 to the right.
This is about 40 feet, whatever.
Master of the Wind.
I'm gonna do a
An emanation is just from each side of your space, so I think it moves with you.
It does. Okay, cool. It moves with you. That's better. Okay, sure. Moves with you. You step over here.
For
sure, now the others are in it,
do
for
it
sure,
right.
you guys.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
Okay, you succeed on this.
This is fine. I kind of wish it failed.
Bludgeoning
More
damage,
fun.
huh? Yeah, okay.
More fun.
It is right now in a bludgeoning resist mode, I will say. But I'll give it the reflex save. If the crit fails, it takes damage.
I mean, again, I'll say bludgeoning is basically all I do.
Yeah, so sad. Okay, no, it succeeds. You know, just smash it, like, hits into the place of this weird material, but doesn't do anything.
Okay, well, that's my turn.
Out there.
Do I have to make saves now, or is that we still?
Oh, yeah, it's starting your turn, yes.
Turn.
So, out there, give me a fork save. I mean, now he's like up above for sure now.
Oh, you got this.
Sure, but see, that means it's going over my head.
You're crazy. That's how air works, you know.
Luckily, I'm prone already. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What's your DC, Tom? It's more than 20, right?
Yeah. It is
Okay,
25. Yeah.
It's gas or
You,
DC,
you full prone, but you did full prone. You just get up again. You get knocked down. You fucking start yourself back up again.
Everything starts playing.
You are
Full on doing a
floating
dance
in the
routine
wind,
over
you
here.
know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like that shit. At all.
Maybe you'll get it, not.
So yeah, I'll just maybe just kind of want to deal with that.
Okay, you want to get away from the wind? Sure.
Because that's now. Am I 45 feet away from you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get any closer.
Don't come close.
Stay away.
I just like waved a finger like a soccer player at him. Yeah. And then. All right. Do I try to trip him first? He's barely fucking injured. No, I gotta go for some damage because he is in blood.
He's in. Yeah. You see lots of gaps in the armor that you can stab into right now.
Yep. Go for the stabby stab.
Oof. Oh wait, I haven't got any hero points after that, huh? That's really bad. Everyone just had a hero point. I was really bad. I shouldn't forget like that. It's really bad.
I'm gonna use it then.
Okay, but come up with a reason for all of us now.
Okay, what's it? Crixil? You debated stealing but didn't. You lose a hero point. You also didn't gamble. You lose another. Outtake, you convinced Crixil not to gamble at a hero point.
Yeah.
Nate, you did the hard choice of having to leave your boat behind, but in order to save your town. Beautiful, really moving. Johnny, you continue to summon water despite the fact that the gods and nature was against you. Have a hero point. Crystal.
A -2 hero points, man.
No, I'm sure I can think of something you did.
He did run up, right, to try to protect Johnny.
That's very heroic. Thank you. Yes, you went and you stood side to side with Johnny as you have many times in the past. You can also have the hero point. Out here, that is a hit.
Yay!
Sorry, I completely forgot hero points existed. 23. Yeah. Okay. Now, you stab it deep in blood. Starts to pour out. Now, now you see some real slowdown in the movement.
Yep, and then I'll do second attack with it.
Sure.
Ooh.
Nice, another hit. Thanks to the flank. You find the weak
19.
spots and you really damn it. Yeah, they're quite badly injured now. Lots of this liquid. Nice. Nate.
Yeah. Okay. So
Finish
how?
him.
Okay. You don't need to do it. Oh no, wait, you need to do a save, but if you crit fail, you get pushed away. So give me a fort save.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. You're first.
It's actually not even bad.
That's pretty good. He has reach.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a reach weapon.
Get a free
Can I
step back.
fail intentionally?
You can't
Well, I
crit
think
fail,
you get knocked
definitely.
prone as well, though, right? It's both.
Yeah, but he is already prone because he was got the
That's true.
Yeah.
He's like he tries to open up the clothing. Where's my sail? Please.
What I meant to ask was about the interact
Mm-hmm.
up to 3 times. So I guess I can just take stuff from my backpack, or just.
I think it takes 3 actions to refuse on your backpack. So for all 3 actions, you can take something else. So for 1 action. So you drop what you're holding and use 3 actions, and you get this thing out of your backpack.
It's not resistant to your
I
pike
don't
right now,
have-
so.
Yeah, right now it's in bludgeoning resist mode.
Oh, it didn't change after you.
No, it didn't have the reaction. It already reacted. To
Oh,
Crixil,
okay.
Slash.
Then, oh,
Not slash.
then
No,
it's-
Johnny's. No, something bludgeon. Oh, Crixil's gun. Yeah, he shot against slash.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see
Okay,
lots of
then.
gaps that you can stick a fucking.
And badly injured.
Mm-hmm.
Although I get minus.
You get -2 for being on the ground. Yeah.
I mean,
Stand up first.
I'll stand up, yeah.
Yeah, get your feet.
And then I'll use just strike with my terrifying pike. Oh,
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Yeah, it turned it back to you to deal with Crixil and you and Outhead. Let's go up. Oh, and 48. Oh, man, look at the HP drop and look at the number. Oh, baby.
Oh, wait, we don't see the bar.
-48.
All we see is the level.
You
of-
can't see?
okay.
Oh, it's perfectly
Takes 40
Yeah,
damage.
I see.
Yeah, stand up and kind of I guess like maybe you see all these weak spots like the back of the neck where it's exposed from the shoulder plates. Stick in that pike, and it
Nice.
and almost like dissolves. Like it seems like the kind of liquid that was almost making up the mass of it was kind of holding it together. All the plates kind of on top, and they kind of almost like fall apart, and they're just like this line of this this liquidy metal with these kind of like plates of a strange material over the top. We can now act out of initiative.
I'm like surround Nate.
Ooh, nice crit, nice crit.
Yeah.
That's clutch.
Ah, the wind!
God damn it!
Everyone just blowing fucking around.
Well, that could have gone better.
How long does that last again? Your little windstorm?
Minute, I think. Let me check.
Fuck.
1 minute.
Well, I don't know where it came from. I hope it goes away soon. Wind is not quite my thing.
It's such wind in the ocean. Yeah, you all kind of imagine hunker down and
lot of strange things.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just like laying down. Just
yeah, it's like your wind.
Fuck this shit.
Just holding on to Nate's.
This place is really not great for magic.
Be gentle, because I'm almost.
You're almost dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't hold too tightly, Quicksilver.
Yeah, I would suggest Johnny to help with that, but
Yeah.
We do not know what will happen.
as he goes to kill you, he starts pumping air into your veins.
That's not good. That is not good for you.
I want a fireball on my head.
Really bad. Brother, did anyone watch that Tom Scott thing?
No, wait, you linked it? I'll have to watch it.
I linked it in the Discord.
Wait, I'll do that.
I'll do that.
Okay. Definitely do.
What? Strange robots. What is that creature?
I have no idea. Is there something you can roll to try to figure it out?
Yeah, this would be occultism by base, and then if you have any kind of specific laws, which I don't think anyone
Just
would
occultism.
Yeah.
Occultism. I don't got none.
You don't got none?
Yeah. I went with occultism because
Yeah.
everyone else had the other stuff taken, like nature and religion and arcana.
I mean, I have +7. I'm pretty.
No, you can try. You can try it.
What's these?
Do you have untrained improv?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I've done that with like so many of my characters. It's like the first one I haven't.
Oh, good.
Okay, no, I'm afraid, Nate, Anota, you've never seen a creature of this like before using it. It doesn't seem like, even looking at it like from, I mean, the easy way is, this is something not from our world, it is like so strange that, it just,
What are they
beyond
called,
your
by the
knowledge.
way? I never found out.
Oh, these things, this is called a Hadronex. Hadronex is what the
Look
word.
like a spider.
Jesus
It does.
Christ.
Do I get a sense that my mystical hunt is over?
What were you trying to hunt? What was the idea behind the hunt?
A robot.
It seems somewhere
A robot from the sky.
somewhere the mystical streams that you think didn't quite work as intended. Maybe the hunt wasn't long enough or detailed enough. You kind of started the hunt when you could see the target. Not really a hunt, some would say. When you do that, it's like I hunt that bird. Oh, the one right there. Oh, I shoot it. Oh, my hunt's over.
That's how it usually works, right? And, right.
Not quite in your
Okay.
case.
Is there any of this weird organic material that could be valuable as a craftsman?
Did something you could try to take some of like this kind of like, it is almost like it's like these kind of metal kind of just almost suspended in this like organic sort of like a compound. So you can try to take some of these like kind of plates bits things that were currently like in there. You're not sure what you could do it for, but it might be an interesting thing at least for a
Could
study.
be valuable. Yes.
Mhm.
I'll start like ripping into it. Trying to like, dislodge some plates and stuff.
Yeah, sure, you can do that, and you can also, if you want to get some of this kind of like kind of glowing material, kind of like bloody lava stuff. You can also try to take some of that and put in like a container of some sort if you want.
Cool. What do I?
Had your next shit to make an item for the
Hadronex shits. Beautiful.
Had your next innards.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. The wind is, simmered down at this point and it's stopped.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Oh, the colors are normal now. What the fuck?
Seriously.
Ooh, my eyes kind of got used to it though. Now it looks weird.
I know, exactly. Now it looks like too dark.
Yeah.
Where's some of the light gone?
Aziz, light. Well, I don't know what the fuck this thing is, and I kick it.
Hurts your foot a little bit.
Definitely the strangest thing we fought, bros.
I mean, I don't know about that.
You fought some weird shit.
Faceless stalkers.
Remember the cursed fishermen from the Fey world who needed to always lost their fish.
Well, that's
Jungle man.
Who tried to pick up Johnny and
people mentioning this. He shows up. I don't know, you guys have seen some weird stuff.
This is a very different type of strange. This is just unnatural strange, you know.
I mean, I'd imagine that's not the guy's aid, right?
No, I would think not, but I don't know if that bodes well for the aid if this thing was still here.
In these inners, I don't see any hint of humanoid feature.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Not in here.
Yeah, but
you also didn't even see a mouth or anything on the creature actually when you also were fighting it.
All right, should we head up? I don't know if there's anything valuable on it we could take.
Is that it was completely enthralling gone, right? There's no remaining
No, nothing. Yeah, Nate's looking at you and he's like, I'm almost dead.
I'm not sure if I should lead the way though.
What I'm hoping is that if we go inside, maybe the interference on Johnny's magic will go away. It'll either get worse or go away. One of the two is my guess.
Hopefully I can.
Do you have downtime healing that is not magic?
I mean,
he does have a medicine kit, right? We gave him a medicine.
We have. I do.
Definitely didn't take it. He definitely was sure, guys, left on the boat.
I know for a fact there was one on the boat. That's the funny part. Yeah. I just think we might have two. At least I'm hoping. Cool. So that's out.
He create some magical dirt. It's fine.
What's worse this could happen?
I mean, it turns into lava and puts a hole in his chest. I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't read all of them yet.
I can barely explain the normal rules of magic, much less whatever the fuck's going on here.
Oh man.
So, okay, let's get on with it at least.
It's, I mean, yeah, maybe it'll be better once we're inside. Who knows?
If I'm gonna die, at least I'll.
So you go inside. Okay, so you go inside and then try to do some dirt stuff. I can describe briefly what you see.
I think it's just to see if does Johnny get the sense that his
magic disruption thing?
Okay, give me a nature check before you start casting to see if you can determine. Okay, you think it will be probably quite a lot harder inside.
Yeah, I don't think inside is gonna be better.
What do we see inside?
Maybe we should just risk it.
Yeah. So
maybe spread out a bit if there's a.
It is surprisingly small inside. When you look at it compared to the entire thing, you've been in. Obviously, the barrel doesn't seem like this is connected to a barrel. The thing that looks like a barrel doesn't seem like it's connected to this kind of area. And this whole thing was maybe more 100 feet long, or whatever, from the outside. Something like that. But even inside, it looks like the walls are very basic, and inside maybe you're in a room that's maybe about 50 feet wide or something like that. You see lots of carvings around the walls, kind of deep ones into the metal, into the ground, into the stone. Sorry, they're kind of inlaid with metal. You can kind of spend some time in Gavin more, but I will say from us as people, who know stuff outside, maybe your players don't. These look like kind of astrological symbols, the stuff we would kind of recognize it being things very kind of abstract lines representing sun and solar systems and almost even galaxies or something far along like that, some sort of almost a star map. It would almost seem to be. But your characters obviously can spend more time trying to investigate them and see, all some laws to see if
maybe
you would.
Lost Temple. threw it out as a suggestion, but could be true.
Yeah, certainly for those religiously inclined, you could also check to see if you think this is related to any specific god you can imagine.
Would Arcana gonna see if it has any like?
I think Arcana is like planes and
relations?
stuff. I would say Arcana. Yeah, you can do Arcana to see if you can use this means anything. Yeah.
I'll attempt occultism. You tell me if it does anything.
Sure. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, star signs is heavy occultism, right? Or just
Oh no. Okay, yeah, you look, yeah, so, all of you spend, some time, like, I will say the other thing of interest, so I should probably describe this. On the far side, there is a staircase leading down. Kind of, like, built in, like, on the distant side of the room. But, the carvings are more, like, on the side near the entrance, so you don't quite go over that direction to begin with, at least, while you're looking at this. Quick, so you have a look over, and, the bit about,
enough money. Wait,
some of, like,
calculated
the
it
more...
in my head.
Like star, like things like solar system and stuff like that. Glowing is in a solar system. Those, you didn't learn really so much in your limited arcane training. However, what you do get is as well of like these kind of like star maps of like this solar system, this galaxy. You see a lot related to the different planes. Specifically, obviously like this solar system is part of like the material plane, and that has its own section. But you see a large amount of these carvings and like the drawings. They are related to the ethereal plane. A surprisingly large amount that have kind of symbols that are commonly sort of do that, and it has like in the Galarian there are all these like diagrams of like the kind of the wheel, or I don't know if it's called the wheel exactly, but the planar landscape or the planar scape or whatever they call it, and like the cycle of like souls partly, and just like just how the structures all fit together and all that kind of stuff. And that is kind of depicted here in some way. And it's specifically, even though like there is maybe some like some signs of the other planes, it seems to mostly focus on the ethereal plane and the material plane.
Okay, also maybe not quite ghosts, but invisible. Many signs. Ethereal. Strange.
Indeed.
That could explain the invisible people, the tracks that go missing, and the people making those tracks. Right?
You mean the camp?
Yeah, and the aid too. I mean, we'll need to enter the thing to maybe find out more.
Yes, never been to ethereal plane. Not sure how it looks. I think it's similar to ours, just wavy.
So arcane trainings, indeed, say just like this but wavy. Out there,
I'm very confused about it.
Yep.
You try to do the occultism check. I mean, you get some of the same description. He gets less about the planes itself, but there is also occultism is also linked in some ways to the serial planes. You also get the impression like you get not quite enough details he does, but you also find like symbols with you would also associate from the occultism point of view. So you kind of just collaborate with its story.
Yeah.
Do you think it's quite safe?
Checks out.
Yeah, exactly. Checks out. You're like, yeah, it looks also what you would have guessed.
Yeah,
no sign of any
towards the
aid or
stairs.
anything like that. Yeah, exactly. You point towards the stairs, and I think, to be honest, maybe this is a pretty good stopping point before you go down the stairs. Because I think otherwise it will be difficult to find one in the next 15
Can we try
minutes.
the healing first if we're gonna do that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Also, maybe you do that before you go down the stairs. Okay. Yeah, you try and you have some mud in your pocket, which you do. This different to what your initial thoughts were. It actually seems to be slightly easier in here. It seems to shelter some of the magic, not all of it, but the DC is now 7 instead of 11.
Oh, nice.
Okay, better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then let's take a short break and hear
It feels
that.
so weird saying DC 7. Like, nothing is ever DC. It's always 6, but I was like, 7 is the number I want. But it sounds so weird, DC
It feels
7.
right if you compare it to 7-Eleven, like that, you know?
Oh, true! That's why it also came to my vein. It came to my vein, just like that. Alright, now just, let's see you blow up in the fireball and you and me go down and no one can get healed and we have no medicine kit. That's gonna be bad. Okay. You create some magic dirt, the best magic dirt you've ever seen.
Now the question becomes, right? For how many healings do we get?
I mean, it says the healing class will last duration 10 minutes. So
yeah, but it is a handful of mud, right?
Yeah, but it only lasts 10 minutes.
Use, right?
Yeah.
And that's one use.
How long does healing take, Tom?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, that's the thing, right? It's faster.
So
it's not faster.
Wait, normally it's
it
an
means
hour.
you can do it every 10 minutes. But each treat rune activity still takes 10 minutes.
Unless
and
you
can you do the
medicine,
multiple
but...
treat wounds in one
Yeah,
action?
yeah. So you can do it the treat runes, like the normal 10 minutes.
Yeah, this was like once.
So,
Yeah,
it works once. Yeah, yeah. Every treat runes you need to basically have the spell. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do a little.
You have like the water maker or something, or no, the other one, or everything, or which one do you have? No, you have continual recovery. Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah.
Cool.
Medicine.
Give me the
I can do up to
DC
30, right?
You a master?
I'm a master, yeah.
And yeah, up to 30. And you're plus 17, easy DC 30. You have 2 hero points. You got to use this session.
Yeah, that's true. DC 30. Let's go, Nate.
So good. 2d8 plus 30, right, or whatever. Crazy.
So.
Yes, 10 minutes.
Bada beam, bada boom. Big heal.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, baby.
Big heal.
Up to battle injury.
Up to battle injury.
Yeah, let me do it on myself.
Yeah. Another flat check.
Oh yes.
Deeper than I thought.
Okay, yeah, you're controlling the flow of magic very, very well.
We're doing the same. DC 30 again.
Reroll that bad boy.
Use the hero point, your 2
Yeah, what? That's yep. Reroll, keep the new result.
Holy shit! He's the best healer in the world. Is it 48 plus 30? Holy shit! 53 healing. Holy
heal.
That's I think pretty much all your crit
Holy
back,
shit,
right?
You
yeah.
use yourself? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do.
He didn't want to blow himself up when he fails, thinking the fire will happen.
Nate again. Let's see the flat. The flat is good.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Maybe now not do the DC 30.
Dude, you have one more hero point still.
We didn't do DC 20. We were aiming for the crit at 30.
Sure.
You still need so much help.
Yeah, you taking 20 minutes now? DC 30 would have been so easy. 48. Yeah, but it only has 2d8, so adding 20. 2d8 plus 48 plus 10. Okay.
Is it only 10?
Oh.
Oh, it's
No, it's
plus
plus
20.
10. No, it's plus 10, Tom, you cheater. That's why DC 20 sucks.
So
it goes 10 to 30?
Yes, it goes 10 to 30.
Damn.
So
So 32.
32.
Yeah.
Only
Still.
injured.
Pretty good.
Okay, one more.
I can do another one.
Yeah,
another one.
One more. Let's see what happens.
I mean, Coop can take out the rations. He can grab some lunch.
Yeah, Coop's like, I mean, he's taking a while, isn't he? Thought he was better than that.
We'll do
We're at
30
like
now,
an
right?
hour now.
Yeah, I can't
So
believe
you failed? You did the 30 for the last one, I love it.
Oh.
You're having some nice, salted meat. Well, at least the ketchup helps. Maybe, good. You doing one more, Johnny, or?
Yeah, sure.
You got time. I mean, nothing's happening to stop you.
Easy. 30.
30? Oh my god, alright, we're gonna be all day. It's been like, an hour now. An hour and a bit.
We had one lunch. What was
Matt Golem.
Okay, one more.
One more, okay.
Okay,
You want to blow up, I can see, but you're never gonna fail. No, you're too good.
just curious.
We're doing 20 now.
I'll
We're doing
listen
20
in on the
now.
stairs to see if there's like anything happening down there.
Yeah. If you kind of go to do you have dark vision? No, okay.
No, low vision.
The stairs seem to go pretty long. Like,
Oh
you know,
my God.
there's no light in this actually. So that's one thing. I mean, you have some light in the opening, and it isn't that long. But you know, when you get to stairs, it's pretty dark.
I'll
You
share
listen
my
in,
my
you can't-
wayfinder now and see if I can see anything.
Okay, what's the range on that?
Oh, that's a light spell. So
Is this
40, 20?
It wasn't. 40, 20? Okay, yeah, so at that point you can see the bottom. The stairs seem to go down maybe like 30 feet, like fairly steeply actually.
Okay.
But you don't hear anything because it is quite far, so you imagine it's also quite hard to hear. That's also not loud. But it doesn't seem to be empty.
Nice.
Cool. But yeah, you need a bit more and you eat some food. And yeah, I guess we end here. Are you happy, Nate? Enough healing? We want a bit more. It's up to Johnny, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
both
feeling
barely injured.
decent.
It can be
yeah.
risky, the magic is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Okay, we can spend a little bit more time.
I
Should be
can
fine,
feel decently. Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at the
that.
magic is so stable for you,
Look
Johnny.
at that. Magic is here.
DC
I didn't
30,
even
right?
need it lower.
DC 30 right though.
The DM is goading me, boys.
DC 30 though.
Don't at this point. Don't do it because I don't think he's down 30 HP, right?
Why not?
Yeah, I'm
Show off.
exactly 30.
No,
sorry, 20.
Exactly 20.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do a 20. Yeah, we'll do a 20.
See?
Okay, good
Oh
choice.
my god.
2d plus 10. Hit that exact number. Oh, pretty good. Right. Yeah, so you spend, about an hour and a half or more. So it's quite a bit down. I mean, it was a very dangerous, deadly fight. If it was only less than moderate. And then, I mean, once you got, yeah.
It swings above its weight in terms of straight.
I think
damage.
it's like, I mean, it really depends how like the damage reducing thing works. Right? I mean, once you fucking got it in opposition to piercing, I mean, Nate and you basically killed it in one round. Like you fucking destroyed him at that.
Yeah.
But it's very tough depending on the situation.
Yeah, and the setup was difficult.
The setup was
get
difficult. For
to
sure,
a
that made it
certain
harder.
attack.
For sure, that
Yeah.
made it harder, yeah. But in general, like the numbers weren't too. It also rolled pretty well. Like I crit twice with like 19 and like 17.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, you recover from that. You treat some wounds. You manage to keep the magic stable, and then you prepare, ready to head down the steps. Sounds good.
Sounds like a level to me.
And then we pick this up in like a
But
month
I
and a half.
felt to fight down the stairs. Can't do it,
There's a
Jacko.
fight down the stairs.
Can't do it, Jacko.
Of course.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, look, you
Heck,
give
it's
everything
win-
a beat or whatever.